The following program is for adult audiences only.
I ran away from the queen of LA. I wrote a song when I had nothing to say, like this one. This one. Follow the river to the edge of the sea. I kissed the water and it made me complete, like this one. This one. We experience death in life. We try to fly, we never let go. It's the only way, it's the only way. Broken hearts can love again. Over they go, over they go, over they go, over they go. Over they go, over they go. I told a lie, I think I wanna believe. Woke up to find that I was stuck in a dream, like this one. This one. I climbed a mountain and it taught me to breathe. I saw my life be on the top of a tree, like this one. This one. We experience, over they go, over they go, over they go, over they go. Yeah, that's the funny thing about magic. You make one little wish and grab it, but they're still gonna take their half. Hearts are gonna break, so tragic. That's the funny thing about magic. You make one little wish and grab it, but they're still gonna take their half. Hearts are gonna break, so tragic. If the gold won't shine right now, shimmers in my dirt, shimmers in my dirt. If the gold won't shine right now, shimmers in my dirt, shimmers in my dirt. If the gold won't shine right now, shimmers in my dirt, shimmers in my dirt. If the gold don't shine right now, shimmers in my dirt, shimmers in my dirt.
All of these places I've been, they don't feel like forever. But each step I'm taking, it seems like I'm finding myself. I've searched for gold and I've uncovered all kinds of treasure. place I know I'm called a friend. There's a place that I'm never alone. There's a place called home. A place called home. Oh, I've walked for miles and I've traded my time for adventure. Yeah, I've seen the world and I know what it's got to give. Yeah, I've had some fun, but I know where I came from. Oh, I'm on my way back home. And I know on the other side of the great unknown, there's a place I'm welcome in. There's a place I know I'm called a friend. There's a place that I'm never alone. There's a place called home.
It's time for the Mixin and Chillin vlog. Even if they implemented some ridiculous laws, this is something that if somebody truly wants to do this, they can still do it. But it's going to take a lot of effort on the vapors part to actually learn what it takes to make your own stuff.
I wouldn't change anything.
I don't know what the heck happened to the last hour of my life, but it certainly wasn't streamed on YouTube like I thought it was. Restrictive policies block progress towards smoke-free world. Many people incorrectly think that very little nicotine content cigarettes are less carcinogenic than current cigarettes. This risk misperception by people who smoke could reduce motivation to quit under a nicotine reduction policy.
That's a bit of a problem. Someone who specialises in helping people kick the habit is Dr. Colin Mendelsohn. He joins me now.
Look, vaping is a far less harmful alternative to smoking for adult smokers who just can't quit, and that's actually the majority of them.
The road to quitting smoking is paved with candy. Double chocolate clear from TFA. Published in the Vaping Post, we have long-term study. Vaping increases odds of quitting heavy smoking. This is Kenny Thompson, the Vaping Heed. He's got a YouTube channel. He's been on here a lot longer than I have. I'm not going to stop until this is legal and available for everyone. You know, I cover things from all around the globe, but that's because science has no boundaries.
I mean, you know, the FDA and everything will know that vaping is safer than smoking, but they'll have the pressure off the tobacco companies or the states that are in the MSC and all that. It's just a financial thing, and it's, and unfortunately that takes precedence against everything. And
All of the things we went through. You just made my day. Just made my day. You made my day. You made my day.
Grab your juice, grab your vape, it's time to get this party started.
It's time for the Mixin and Chillin vlog.
Long-term study.
vaping is safer than smoking.
Smoke-free world. Hello and welcome, everyone. It's time for another episode of Mixin and Chillin with Hunky Vape. And there he is.
Hi.
Kenny the Vaping Heed.
Oh.
And as you can tell,
Technical issues.
looking at both of us, we've been flat out, nonstop, constantly doing stuff, and it's just one thing after the other all day long, every day, trying to move up in the world. One little notch every single day.
Yep.
Very difficult.
Life gets
we're
in
getting
the way
there.
of everything. Life gets in the way of everything, mate.
It isn't life that gets in the way. I mean, let's be honest about it, okay?
Okay, how
It's things like this. Have you seen this yet? This is a rare photo of a 10 millimeter socket in its natural habitat. These kind of things, they keep creeping up on us, and it's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And it also doesn't help, when people drink in prime. So this is your public service announcement for the week. Don't drink in prime, because Kenny's been running flat out, delivering all your packages. People were drinking and priming.
People drinking and priming. What can I say?
And for me, this is my biggest fear, updating the privacy policy where we lose all privacy for the sake of the better good.
Oh,
you can stick it up their keister. What's wrong? You're so flustered.
Suddenly, for me to watch YouTube on the other monitor, I've now got to re-sign into my Google account, and now it's like updating me security checks while I'm doing it. What the fuck? It's never ever done that before.
It's payback for when you got hacked last time. Now they want to make sure, is it really you? Did you submit your DNA sample that we can verify to make sure that it's actually Kenny signing in? Not some hacker in Bosnia.
Holy. This is all just to get onto YouTube, I'm like the two-step verification bullshit to get onto YouTube. What the fuck?
Speaking of YouTube, I was on YouTube yesterday. The Monday Night Show with Mick and Bill. It was fantastic. There's a link in the description of the video. Go check it out. Had a nice conversation. Except, see, their show only goes for an hour long, and it's just like, before we realized,
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Before we even realized that the show was over.
And I was no.
They're like, we had questions we wanted to ask you, and we didn't get through with the interrogation. So can you come back sometime, maybe in a month or so, once the dust settles from you being here?
You need to be.
And actually, we had a conversation afterwards. It's kind of like, when Kenny and I stream, even though we stream like 4 or 5 hours, we're still on the damn, chat afterwards for another hour or two. Well, we did the same thing yesterday after the show, and we had a conversation. They're like, hey, man, you and Kenny need to come on the UK mixing show, Benny Vape's channel. Because they want to interrogate him on his DIY mixing ability.
I think we need to get you on for that one, mate.
No, man. You never, ever wanted to get into DIY. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, man, here's some one-shots. Try this out. You're like, oh, one shot. I could do that.
I don't know me Capella from me cappuccino.
Your Capella from your cappuccino. Oh, that's so brilliant. I have to write that one down. We're going to reuse that one later on.
We'll do that. We'll do that one day. We'll get on Benny Vapes and we might educate him,
Listen, there's a reason we have music normally accompanying this channel. It's because our humor normally isn't this good. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I think there's something in my tea today. That's what it is.
See, the problem is we started early today. Kenny logged on, making sure that his camera was working properly and everything, and we're almost out of coffee already.
Yeah.
What's the deal? What am I going to do?
Make another one, man. Oh, you've been.
We'll just have to jump to our flavor explosion early. That's all.
No, don't jump it late. I've got that in hand. Jump a little bit later. about 5:30ish to be precise. The wife's gone to the shop for us on our way home.
No worries. Hey, man, I have a thing. I didn't even set it up for OBS today. It would have been perfect for that. See, here we live in Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, husband and wife and boyfriend, girlfriend, we don't say I love you to each other. We say, hey, we're stopping at Sheetz on the way home. You want anything?
Pretty much same here. I'm at the shop. Can I pick anything up? Yeah.
It's not what you say, it's what you do. And that's why the hypocrisy for the ants out there is so infuriating. Kenny sounds in the background. Did I leave you in the gutter?
Did you leave me in the gutter again? Have you done that to me again? You know, he's been treating me very harshly lately. Do you know that?
It puts the lotion on the skin.
Uh-huh.
How about now?
Background. Hello, folks. Here we are. Testicles, 1, 2, 3.
You do sound a little quiet today.
Oh, I don't know what's going on there. See, children have been on. Let's have a look.
We'll compensate for that.
Nothing doing there.
How about now? What are you doing?
Still very low. Wait, now, what's the matter with this? What's the matter with this?
Uh-oh.
But I can't do it now because it's too much.
I told you, you can't fix your computer with the sledgehammer. It's not going to work.
No, I know exactly what's the matter with it. I think, but no, it was working before. Last time.
Well, that sounds good now.
The last time I formatted my computer, I never put the Rode software back on. And that will
blame it on the software.
That will include the driver, an updated driver as well. So I will do that for next week. After it's done, I'll update my driver now because the software actually you've got the software to take a control desk where you can balance it out and do your volumes and all that shit. It's the Rode Control Center or something it's called. I'll do that for next week. So then I'm going to cause him headaches now because he'll have to reconfigure all my sound again.
That's all right. Video Ninja has a little compressor. I can just click that on. And worst case scenario, I can even turn on auto gain control. Then you can blow my ear away like I normally do yours.
It's like I say, it's been like that for weeks. So I don't know. I mean, I've only just realised when I've looked, I thought I haven't got my Rode software on. And then the penny dropped. But I haven't had it on for weeks, so it's been all right the last few weeks. Plus, like I say, have you noticed, folks, there's no crackling? He's fixed it. The
I had to
professor has
revert the
fixed the
software
crackling.
back to a previous version of it.
Yeah, you see, there's these new software updates, man, they wreck everything.
That they do. Matter of fact, I was just telling them, NVIDIA dropped a brand new video driver right before the stream, and I'm like, no, you stay there in the corner and do not come out until the show is over.
Yep, you leave that there. Just leave it all alone.
So while we're here, might as well say hi to everybody. Cloud Chucker, Mrs. Hunky Vape, William Dobson, Mallory Gates. She was the first one in the chat today. Where's her? Let me scroll up and find it.
She wasn't. I beg to differ, she wasn't.
Morning, all you beautiful tobacco harm reductionists.
I'm sorry to beg her, but somebody beat her the day. I don't want to be still in, but Flavors was like, put a little message in. There you go.
And Flavors was number 2, said hello from across the oceans.
Number 2. I thought he was number 1. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Mallory.
He is the number 1 flavor supplier, though. I'll tell you that because I guarantee you if I would have tried to make my Hawaiian Punch recipe using a different brand, it wouldn't have worked out. And like I've said before, that's the benefit of their flavor is that everything is pretty much the same percentage. It's not like Wonder Flavors where you have some things that you go 0.5% and all of a sudden it's like so in your face that it overpowers the entire recipe. With Flavors, everything's right about 5%.
Beautiful stuff.
So if you put 5% of this and 5% of this in there, it's an even 50-50 balance.
And speaking of Mallory,
I almost played craps at the casino today, but the game looked a little dicey.
My God.
Ian Thomas, Tim B, Sean Lynch, Michelle Elliott, Billy Lee Rice, and myself. Fantastic.
I'll put me in as well, so we'll do another one.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should make a collage of everybody's first initial messages. So if you guys haven't heard, and if you haven't seen on the channel, I did a live vlog to thank all of you because I finally got the channel to a point where Google decided they've been holding your paychecks and your super chats and your thank yous and all this stuff long enough that they're like, okay, here's $100. And because it was Prime Day, I went and found something on my list and it was on sale for Prime Day. And long story short, ordered a desk and it's downstairs. So today, after Kenny and I get done with the vlog, I'm gonna be tearing this whole room down, rearranging everything, getting the new desk set up in place. And it's going to be studio round 3.
You see us Prime drivers, right? We might be international, but we'll still keep in touch. And his driver, can you tell us, he went, that table was a bitch to deliver. And that's exactly what he said to me.
There was 2 of them that had to deliver it.
Yeah.
First time I've ever seen a package delivered with 2 drivers.
We could deal with some of them. We're not supposed to have any more than 25k. Bullshit. Yeah, right.
Listen, I got to replace the coil springs on the Excursion, and I'm going to order them from Amazon, and they don't weigh 25k. Sorry.
Thank
a little
God
bit
for
more.
that. Why don't you order it UK? Then they'll send me over international to deliver it to you. Then we can just hang out when I do the delivery. That'd be a cool idea.
That'd be
wouldn't
awesome. I don't think it works that way, though.
it? No, I haven't got a pilot's license, so I've had it.
I haven't gotten enough hours to get mine. Well, technically, you only need 40 hours to actually take the test. But I've got the 40 hours in, but I no longer meet the weight requirements to be a pilot. Which means I'm going to have to shift my focus to the Hunky Health channel and actually like start putting videos up there and actually doing exercising regularly. And
So instead of the slimy, cheeky so-and-sos, instead of putting you as a pilot, they're now putting you as cargo. Is that basically what they're trying to say?
exactly. That's exactly what's happening.
Oh, that's shocking.
But fortunately, I don't have to sit in a cage like the animals when they ship them. Speaking of something, speaking of animals, we talk about all the time about how, vaping is better than smoking and how, well, if you go look at the website.
Where's my battery? That's all right.
It's frozen. If you look at the website, you'll see clearly that 24,028,141 people have died from cigarette combustion since I quit smoking. And it's still 0 people have died from vaping, right?
Speaking of videos, I forgot to put a link up for it. I'll dig it out and I'll put a link up for it in Discord. It was a guy. He got a tub of soil and he put 4 cigarettes in it and sealed it and time-lapsed it for a year. I'll tell you what it is. The tobacco, everything went, and all that was left were these white filters in a year. It was clever the way he done it.
Really?
The tobacco disappeared, and all that was left was the filters, because basically we know it takes 14 years for the filters to degrade.
Yeah,
because
it's a pharmaceutical product. It's a piece of plastic sponge.
But the actual tobacco, or the actual tobacco part of the cigarette and the paper all disintegrate within a year, but the cigarette butt still remained. It was clever the way he done it. Just he sealed it in a big jug. You put a load of soil in, sealed it all up in a chubbuck so you could still see the cigarettes, but it was all in a sealed jar. And you could see he was tearing it. You see all the little bugs and everything crawling around and all that shit. It was really clever the way he done it. Very clever.
Here I can't find it. I started talking on him, and we got sidetrained, railroaded on the conversation, and I don't have the image in front of me. It disappeared. Anyway, the whole long story short of this story was that more people are killed by animals than are killed by vaping. Like 20-some people are killed by a cow every single year.
No
By a
shit.
cow. Yeah. You know, people are so scared of Rottweilers and stuff because they're supposed to be so vicious in how they attack people. They don't actually kill anyone.
We
have a cow that kills 20 people a year.
We in the UK introduced bison back into the wild last year. And there was a thing about it. I mean, they've still got to have them in electric fences because our laws, I suppose they'll come under cattle. We can't have animals like that wandering around freely, unfortunately, you know what I mean? Because our country's not big enough for it, you know what I mean? But apparently they're thriving and they're controlling the woodland and they're creating new, bringing areas for new wildlife to thrive and everything. It's quite clever what they've done. Same with beavers. We've introduced beavers as well back into the UK countryside.
That's because you love wearing those beaver pelts.
That's the Scottish, mate. That's the Scottish with them bloody furry bits on the front, mate. That's the Scottish. The spurring. Is that it? The spurring. They've got the spurring on the front.
So here it is. I did find it, okay? 22 people are killed annually by cows. 5 people are killed annually by sharks. Ants, the little things that crawl on the ground, that are supposed to be picnic wreckers, kill 30 people every year. Horses kill 20 people a year. Hippos kill 2,900 people annually. Hippos.
Well, however, you've got the game Angry Hippos, so, all the casualties in that game must be horrendous.
Oh, those marbles. That's what happens when you put them in your mouth. They're kind of like squirrels. Squirrels are beautiful, beautiful creatures of nature. Until you put one in your mouth and you light it on fire like a cigarette. Then it's not so good for you.
No.
Gives a whole new definition to chewing the fat.
Oh, fuck. He's been on a humour pill. He's had a humour pill. He's been like this from minute one.
Jellyfish kill 40 people annually. Deer. They go out every year. The hunters go out to capture their deer and to get some venison to fill the freezers. Kill 130 people annually.
Just goes to show, doesn't it?
And they
How
want
many
to
people
attack
have
us
died
for
from
vaping.
vaping? How many people have died from vaping? Big fat 0.
0. Yep. And the best part is when you sit there and they say, a volley. Okay, a volley was black market THC carts that were tainted with vitamin E acetate. There's a study out there that says 100% of the people that they did the autopsy on found traces of THC with vitamin E acetate.
Hi, the 60-watt guy. How are you doing, sir? Oh, what we're vaping? He's asking what we're vaping on, my friend. What are you vaping on?
Same boring answer. I have the top one from last week with the original arbiter on it.
Kylan 3 in there?
And the Kylan 3 on the Dovepo Odin.
I was saying, that better be in there after all the chewing you've had with that.
And for comparison, I have the Arbiter 2 on the Swell mod. And then you have Kenny, who really wants to talk about what he just got.
I'm sitting here. I'm still on the little Vaporizer swag. I've still got this little fella. There he is, a little Vaporizer swag.
He's holding out on you guys.
I'm still on the Kylan. The little Kylan 3 still there.
He's still holding out on you guys.
What juice have I got in there? No, anyway, moving on.
Ooh, fun times.
I've now got this big boy. My new latest acquisition. You're having fun, aren't
That is beautiful.
This, my ladies and gentlemen, is the new. I still can't pronounce this name properly. Osiris or Osiris RTA.
Hold the box up.
30mm one. There you go. There's the box hung on the light there. Osiris or Osiris, however you want to pronounce it.
Osiris.
I think it's supposed to be like the Greek god of fertility or something like that. I don't know.
You would know about that, wouldn't you?
Well, and believe me, I don't think I'm vaping too much tonight, because if I move back slightly, as you are now about to see, this thing is a fog machine and a banger. Fuck. So tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be anyway.
And yes, you are right. Osiris is the Egyptian god of fertility, agriculture, and afterlife. The dead, resurrection, life, and vegetation in the ancient Egyptian region.
See, I do my homework, boys and girls. You know, I don't just get it out of the box. Nah. I do a little bit of homework.
No, he didn't. You guys remember last week I told him, I says, five articles for us to talk about today. And you know what he did? He blew it off.
The review on the...
He skipped school.
Review on the Osiris. I've done the review on the Osiris. And some juice. I've done a juice review as well.
Well, I guess I can't really argue with you, because I still haven't finished the review on the Chillin V3. I haven't put my final thoughts in, because now that I got this coil in there and the flavor is so fantastic, I don't want to take it out to put the 4mm coil in there. That's so hard. That's the hardest part about being a vape reviewer, is when you find something that is so fantastic, so flavorful, and then you got to destroy it in order to finish testing it.
Well, if your coils are good, you can just take them out and put them back in again, you know.
Well, yeah, I know. But I'm afraid that the 4mm coil is going to give me the same shit that the original ones put in here when they were too high. I think it'll work with a single coil, but I don't, a dual coil will probably be your best setup. Yeah, and then, Because at the end of the day, your issue was with the airflow as well. And so obviously, if your coils are in the wrong position, then your airflow is just going to go out the window anyway. Now you've got your coils positioned, you've now got your airflow right. You know what I mean? All right, I'll be honest with you, all right? The real reason I'm afraid to put the 4mm coil in there is because I understand basic physics, and I know that if you take that dual 3mm coils out, and you slap a 4mm coil in there, there's going to be potential for even more airflow. And I'm afraid it might actually be better than the original Arbiter. Oh. I'm afraid that it's going to dethrone the Arbiter. It's going to knock it off its perch, isn't it? It already did on flavor. I'll tell you what's going to dethrone it straight away. That. By a mile. That's probably the best. I'm not shitting you guys and girls. That's probably the best RTA I've had for a long time. Not just for clouds. The flavor of this thing is absolutely stunning. It's literally like you're just drinking it. And you just destroyed the title I was going to call the Chillin V3. I was going to say that that's the best RTA of 2023, but here we've got a potential candidate to knock it out the ballpark before this one even had a chance to land on its feet. And like I said, guys, there's a smaller version. This is a 25mm version, so that's going to be more condensed and more flavorful, you know what I mean? I'm not sure what the airflow is like on that, because I know it's a top airflow device. So I don't know if it's going to be like a very restrictive airflow, but if you like airflow, that you can breathe through that. That's like, to compare it with something you all probably know, it's probably Titan territory. You can breathe through it.
but the flavour is immense. Absolutely immense.
And once again, I wasn't keeping up with chat. I highlighted a couple of people and left it up, sitting up top, so stop feeding all their chat messages.
And there's William Dobson. He's sitting on the hog with the Valhalla V2 and a donut and apple fritter in it. Well, what can I say, sir? You're a man of
And
taste.
William also has already tried a 5mm coil in the Kylan V3 at 6mm in leg length.
Wow. There you go. I think the Arbiter's in trouble.
I mean, it is, what, 3 years old already?
The Arbiter is in trouble.
That was the first year that I started doing reviews. I called the Arbiter the best RTA ever. I legit bought everything I could get my hands on and tried it before I made that video. And it's held the test of time up until now.
Oh, Mallory. I'm going to have to look at that. There you go. There's Mallory.
Kylan V3.
Yeah.
Good. Put Mallory up.
Come on. Is she working?
There you go.
There you go. Yes.
Does the hammer deem you worthy?
I like to think so.
I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy.
We're not worthy. Oh, we're not worthy. But yeah, I'm well impressed. I've always said, like, with the Valhalla RTAs, whether it be the big one or the little one, I've always said if they can get that deck in a tank, it will be a winner. And that's pretty much what they've done with that. It's absolutely out of this world.
Uh-oh.
Bottom airflow.
News just in. According to Mallory Gates, Kenny is worthy. Now back to your regularly scheduled content of Mixin and Chillin.
I thank you.
Congratulations. Way to go.
Scratching me big head.
Honestly, folks, this show isn't about blowing sunshine up Kenny's ass. It really isn't.
It is.
You get an F- in my book.
Uh-oh.
I just absorb it and milk it.
Like the strawberries. Remember we were milking strawberries?
Yep, the strawberries.
Oh, man.
I'm milking melons now. That's where I'm at, mate, I tell you.
Milking melons.
Oh, my God. Tell you what it is, you carry on. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this. You just carry on.
Oh, my goodness.
It's just when you find that perfect vape, it's just that moment, and you're like, yep, hell yeah.
Yep, that's exactly what I said when I came up with this freaking recipe for this Hawaiian punch.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because my wife legit wants a fruit punch, not a Hawaiian punch. And the flavors, I still got a single flavor test them to make her recipe. And now I'm rearranging the studio.
That's going to be fun. Saying that could be a good thing, because when you rearrange things and you move things about, you probably find things that you've lost or you thought that you didn't have.
I already have.
So it's fun.
It's ridiculous. I can't tell you, there's been half a dozen times where I was looking for something. I'm like, where did I put that thing? Perfect example is today's featured product that we're going to be taking a look at. The Krimhild with the rebuildable mesh coil.
Oh.
Somebody talked about it last week, and I'm like, listen, we're going to do that next week on the show. And I had to go digging for it. It turned out to be in my mother's room. And that's the stuff that never got brought into this when the studio got revamped the last time.
My God.
So that's what we're going to take a look at later today. It's the Krimhild by Vapefly, and this thing is a stock coil tank that also offers you rebuildable mesh coils that look exactly like the stock coils you've always bought from every other brand on the planet. Fantastic. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Oh,
and my wife says my audio is crackly once again.
Oh, no.
Well,
not again.
Turn it off. Turn it off. All effects are completely off. Hopefully that fixes the issue. But we can't dwell on things we have no control over. So how about we start griping over things that we do have some control over, because if we advocate for them to do the right thing and we make them look bad enough, they're going to have to do the right thing eventually.
Exactly.
You can't value money over people's lives. Dr. Alex Woodhawk asked a question on Twitter asking, the drug wars. What does the drug wars cost us? And my answer to him is, well, it depends on the drug and depends on what the value is for a single human life.
Can you put a price on a human life? Apparently so.
Apparently so.
Crazy, man.
Alrighty. So what is everybody vaping on today? Kenny put it up there, but we didn't read it. She has, Billy Lee Rice has a luscious raspberry white chocolate cheesecake in her Osiris 30 millimeter RTA. And the clouds are so thick and yummy.
There you go.
The 60 watt guy has a white chocolate cheesecake. Oh, wow. That is something that he would love.
Oh, yeah, man. Definitely, mate.
Nah, you can never win versus the government. They're still going to shit on vaping regardless. Yeah, but I'm not going to stand idle by and let them do it and think that they look good doing it.
Our BBC News was out again last week. We had a doctor on and the head of trades and standards, and I'll give this head of the trades and standards a due because she did back it up. This doctor, I don't know what it is with these GPs and doctors around the world, but they're so fucking uneducated when it comes to vaping, because he said the e-liquid and all the chemicals that are in it. I'm like, bro, there's no chemicals in e-liquid. You're uneducated prat.
They're just trying to scare people. Technically, yes, there are chemicals in it, but you know what? Technically, every single fruit juice you buy in the store is filled with chemicals.
Exactly.
Your food is filled with chemicals.
Basically, what they were hitting at is like the talking about like the banning the disposables because of all the crap in the black market. But this person from our trading stands in the UK says, well, I don't agree with banning it because all you're going to do is make it worse. She says, we've already got a problem with, black market vape devices and all that stuff. She says, so if you ban it, what are you going to achieve? And she was right. You're not going to achieve anything. You're going to make it worse. And she said, look at the Australian at the moment. She used Australia as an example. You know what I mean?
Exactly. They put the prescription model in place and 90% of the vapors, thumbed up. Sorry, we're not following your laws. And they started buying everything on the black market. And then the black market grew. And the thing is that the more they make it illegal, the more they make it more like the war on drugs, the more the cartels are going to get involved because it's a much safer product to sell, and the potential to earn money is astronomical. Yeah. There's 82 million of us vaping every single day so that we do not smoke combustible cigarettes.
And then the doctor was going on with the package and saying it's still aimed at kids. No, it's not, man.
Yeah, no, just like colorful condoms are aimed at kids.
Yeah. No, it's not.
And just like all
alcohol. Yeah, your alcohol pops now that look like pop.
Yep, and here's the perfect thing. We're going to take a look at this tweet because I just posted it earlier today.
Thank you.
And I hate to tell you, but it's the same situation. Okay? Children should never be exposed to nicotine in any form. Think of the children, right? It's poppycock, and we all know it's poppycock because tomatoes and cauliflower, green tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant, they all contain nicotine. It's nothing but bullshit hypocrisy. And this is what I talked about before. Drinking age, right? Drinking age is 16 in Germany. 16? Ours is 18. 18. We have to be 21 here in the United States. And then you got Ireland says, you guys have a drinking age?
Ireland don't give a fuck.
But here's our grocery store. Here's our grocery store in lovely state of Ohio. You want any wine? If your toddler happens to be walking with your shopping cart, you know, they could easily grab one and throw in the cart for you. Want some beer?
Yes, please.
There's plenty of alcohol opportunities in there.
Yeah.
But it's not just that. The same grocery store sells nicotine. Right there.
You see, like how do like the underage get their hands on alcohol when that was a class. The way shops display them now, shoplifters can easily steal them. So, I mean,
take a look at it. Anybody could take it if they really wanted it.
Yeah.
Well, AgeGate, they check their IDs. Well, they check the IDs on vaping products too.
Well, they're supposed to.
I'm not even going to get into the whole thing of, you know, which causes more harm to society, nicotine vaping in youth or alcohol use in youth. We talked about the binge drinking and the percentage of the kids that binge drink.
Yeah.
Or they steal mom and dad's car.
Oh, yes.
And their solution is, oh, we're just going to raise the taxes on stuff because kids can't afford it. That's not true either. They can't afford it now, but they're stealing mommy and daddy's credit cards and their cash out of their wallets and their purses so they can go and get a hold of it and pay their friend who's old enough to buy it to supply it to them. But screw the smokers that actually need these products so that they don't, you know, kill themselves with cigarettes. So we're just going to double or triple the taxes like they did in Louisiana.
You can drink yourself to death, no problem. You can smoke yourself to death and you can drink yourself to death. Oh, that's not a problem, that. But you want to vape and make yourself more healthier and all that? No, can't have that. No.
Yep. And let's totally discredit the fact that, you know, this is the most effective way for you to quit smoking. And the scientific studies have already shown that there's 2 or 3 times. So there's one study that shows that it's 4 times more effective than any other nicotine replacement therapy or behavioral counseling to quit smoking.
Exactly.
So you would think that they're going to tax them differently than the product that actually kills you. But no, that's not what we do here in Hawaii. In Hawaii, we're going to tax them the exact same as cigarettes.
I did see a post that was it Asia or South Asia? Vaping is taken up apparently over there.
Philippines.
Yeah.
Philippines legalized it. Matter of fact, the majority of my videos are watched in the Philippines. When you go to the YouTube thing in analytics and you break it down to what country watches it, what age groups watch it, that kind of thing. Philippines is like 40% of my viewership right now.
And they manufacture some damn good mods as well. They're pretty high end, but they're damn good.
And in addition to that, before we get to New Zealand, Hong Kong's doing the same thing. Hong Kong's increasing tobacco tax every year to effectively discourage smoking.
Black market all over that. It's got it written all over.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You raise the price, and it gets to the point where, like in Australia, they want you to pay $50 for a pack of fags. And guess what? Some schmuck is going to be able to import a bunch of that stuff, and they're going to sell it to you on the street corner for a 20. And you don't care if the cigarette taxes have been paid on it or not. And you don't care what quality of cigarette you're getting either. Not when it's less than half the price of any pack in the store.
It's like everything on the black market, it doesn't matter what it is. It's definitely inferior quality, but you don't care. You know what I mean? It's because you can get it. That's the thing.
Common sense. You would think that it would fall back on common sense.
What's that? Apparently you can get that on the black market now.
So here we have an article published in the Vaping Post that says New Zealand's problematic vape laws and their lack of enforcement. Well, that's another thing, just like the FDA trying to deny 6.8 million PMTA applications, right? And only authorized 23 products, which is actually only 3 products that are usable with different cartridges for those 3 products. One of them is total garbage. The stuff that people quit smoking with 10 years ago is better than the freaking product that they authorized. But it all comes down to enforcement. How are they going to enforce going into every single corner shop? I had this conversation yesterday on the show about when I go up north to camp, here in the United States, they implemented the vape mail ban, right? You're not supposed to be able to send packages through the vape that it contains vaping products through the mail, or through UPS and FedEx jumped on board and said, oh, you're not allowed to do that. Seriously, how are they going to be able to figure out what packages have any of these things in them and which ones don't? So then you're left with what? Border protection? And I saw a statistic yesterday that said cocaine, the war on cocaine, has only yielded 1.2% of all the cocaine that is being used regularly in the United States. 1.2%. It's impossible to enforce it. And you can't overcome the fact that we're not going back to smoking. We're going to keep vaping. If we got to buy it on the black market, we're going to buy it on the black market. And if you make it so hard, then guess what? We're going to make our own stuff.
It's all about regulation, my friends. It's all it needs. Just common sense, regulation, and everything will be fine.
Right, because no war, no prohibition has ever worked. Because
and it never
just
will.
Because you make it illegal is not going to stop consumer demand.
That's exactly what that head of trade and standards said the other day on the news. She says all you do is make the problem you've got bigger.
Yeah. And, most of the time I agree with, Nancy Lucas and a lot of her advocacy that she puts out there, and how, you need to stay calm and rational and talk with people and don't let them pull you down into the gutter and stuff. But I don't think that this is going to work. If we saw other retailers receiving fines of up to $10,000 for selling vaping products to underage youth, you would very quickly see a drop in sales to underage people. Well, that sounds good, but that's not what's going to happen. You'll stop seeing it in the stores that are selling it right now, but it's just going to be sold on social media through friends and through associates. That's what happens now. That's how the underage get access to things, despite the vape mail ban, despite tobacco 21 laws. They get on social media and their friends that use the product and have a supply. It's just like any other drug. There's going to be a drug dealer that's going to be supplying these people with the nicotine, and they're not going to be doing age checks. At least right now, there are people that are doing age checks. You go to the corner store, you go to the gas station, it looks obvious if they don't do age checks and you get a kid walk out of there and somebody else stands up and points them out and turns them in. So they do age checks on things. The end times of prohibition aren't going to fare well for the government, I'll tell you that.
Wait, I'm just looking here on the BBC News. Kent officials issue alert over illegal vapes amid rise in underage vaping. Nearly 500,000 e-cigarettes that do not comply with UK laws have been seized by officials in Kent within 18 months from 2022. At the port of Dover, 13,000 devices with 9 times the legal amount of nicotine liquid were seized in a week. So they're coming thick and thin. That's your black market for you folks.
Yeah. Well, Mallory pointed out here, getting tired of being rational when we get morons like this saying crap such as condoms are not protection from pregnancy and sexually transmitted infections. They are now harm reduction, ? So where's the reduced harm of a condom? Seriously? When I saw this, I finally got it why people say, don't bother replying to idiots like this. You know, because we all know by now, this guy's nothing but a clown. So if you're upset that every time you get on Twitter and you see a clown, my new question is going to be, why you keep going to the circus? Do like he does and just block the people that you don't want to see.
Exactly.
You can be like Simon Chapman and just block everybody. I didn't even know who this idiot was. I'm sorry, distinguished professor. Okay? I didn't even know who he was, but I was already on his block list because he happened to catch me replying to somebody else's stuff. So if idiots like this bother you, well, block them and get out there and change the minds of the people that you know that you can actually have a positive impact on simply because they've been misinformed. And you can provide legit sourced information from government bodies like New Zealand and, you know, United Kingdom.
But the name of the person who was... The name of the person I was on, she's called Kate Pike. She was the lead officer for vaping in the Trading Standards UK. That's who was on. And did you know, she also stated that, you know what we were talking about the other week when you have like a returns policy, you know, where you get incentive to take your vape used device back to a shop and for whatever. That actually exists in the UK, but nobody's pushed it.
Actually, I just saw an article and I didn't save it for today. I probably should have. Let me check. There is a recycling program. It started in London. I think it was the same company, the parent company to Vaporizer is the one that's mainly pushing for it.
Yeah.
But there's also another recycling company that got on board and is going to be putting recycling bins and places where you can deposit these disposables, and they will go around and collect all of that, dismantle it, and then fully recycle everything in it.
Yeah. So it's already in existence here, but nobody's pushing it. None of the councils are taking on board, nothing. It's only down, let's say, in the major city like London. So, you know, if that was widespread across the UK, surely that's got to be a good thing, but why aren't they pushing it? I'll tell you why, because all they want to do is push negativity about it. That's all they want to do. They never, ever,
they want to make the problem. It's like
good news.
It's like Star Trek. You go back to Scotty. Scotty always multiplied the repair estimate by 3 so he can maintain his reputation as a miracle worker. Well, governments are doing the same damn thing. They're making the problem way worse or sound way worse than what it really is. That way, they have your backing to enact these ridiculous laws that are going to solve the problem without actually addressing the root cause of the problem.
Exactly. It's just bullshit, man. Honestly.
Yeah, well,
absolute crap.
There are real solutions out there. You and I talked about this before. Recycling is a simple solution, especially when it comes to vaping stuff. And they actually are implementing that in London right now. If you take and you buy 10 disposables and you return those 10 disposables to the store you bought them from, they will give you a free product to replace the 10 disposables.
Exactly.
And you already paid for it. That's the best part. They just cracked up the price 10%. You bought 10 of them. Now here's your free one for recycling and bringing back the used ones.
That's what I'm saying. It's just reward, isn't it, at the end of the day, and that's what you need.
It's like when we were kids, you know, the Coke bottles that we bought in the grocery store, we recycled them. And there were states here, you know, in the United States where they actually forced retailers to collect a 5-cent or 10-cent tax on the bottles that you got back when you returned them.
Exactly.
Solutions are easy.
It's simple enough to put right, isn't it?
But see, here's the thing. If these politicians actually fix the root cause of the problem, What are they going to do the other 350 days a year? They need to look like they're actually, you know, busy and investigating things and coming up with the perfect solution.
Well, this is what it must be with these pen pushers.
Solution.
But that's exactly what these pen pushers are doing now, you know, like in our Houses of Lords or wherever you pull it. They must sit there and think, what ridiculous law can we bring out today? I know. I mean, ban wiping your ass more than twice. Save toilet paper.
Well, here you go. IAG says that there's an alarming increase in ram raids in New Zealand, with thieves frequently targeting vaping products. We just talked about that last week here in the United States. Illinois is complaining the same damn problem.
Especially with vape, like I say, with vaping products, because if you're banning them or restricting them, people will either steal them or whatever to go and sell them on the black market.
Yeah, the more restrictive you make access to these products, the more likely people are going to use the black market, or they're going to steal it from wherever they can get it from. If you increase the price so much that they can't afford it legitimately, well, you can turn people into criminals. Neil Pitts, hello and welcome to the stream. Dusty Country Road, I saw you lurking. And Free Ride Vapor, hello and welcome to the stream.
Hello, boys and girls. Oh, that's crazy, man.
But we talked about Australia and New Zealand before, and how their MPs are just as ridiculous as the politicians here in the States. The guy wanted to, you know, ship them off to the desert. Let the crocodiles and the cattlemen have their way with them. That's their solution. How about you find out why these people's lives are so miserable in the first place?
Because of the stupid rules and regulations that they've got out. That's why people's miserable and fed up.
Yeah,
honest to God, man.
I knew that, you know, it's going to get to a point where we're sitting here bitching about the same things that we really don't have any control over, but we still got to, you know, fight to get the common sense out there into people's minds. So let's take a look at an article I came across that says exploring the future of vaporizer technology and innovations.
Ooh.
Like, this sounds exciting. Wow. Somebody actually wrote an article talking about the future of vaping, and it wasn't, you know, bad or derogatory or blaming somebody for, you know, illegal use and using them as a poster child for prohibition. So we have an article that says vaporizers have revolutionized the way we enjoy our favorite herbs and concentrates. Wait a minute.
Herbs. What are you talking about, herbs?
I should have known better. If we're talking about nicotine vaping, it's always going to be negative. When we're talking about cannabis vaping, oh man, that's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I'm not knocking cannabis because there is the medicinal need for it. My wife's a perfect example, okay? If you have ADHD or you have anxiety problems, it's the perfect solution. Non-pharmaceutical solution to your anxiety issues. It just chills you out, mellows you out.
Parkinson's as well. It's very good for Parkinson's disease. Apparently stops them shaking.
And seizures. Same issue. You know, infants that have seizures, you can't give them phenobarbital and all these heavy chemical drugs to try and stop their seizure. You can't slap Valium into them every time they start having a seizure. But you have cannabis and it completely stops the seizure and there's no side effects. Heaven forbid we have a natural medicine that is actually, 100% benefit and no real cost or risk of injury.
Well, I think it's a similar scenario to vaping, isn't it? Vaping is an alternative to smoking, right? It's a healthier thing, while cannabis has got medicinal benefits that are a better alternative than the pharmaceutical tablets they give you. So, you know, it's the same kind of thing, and that's why it's probably always been frowned on over the years, or in certain countries like in the UK, it's banned, you know what I mean? So,
and then we have the French. French always love to be out there and do things their own way and not give two shits about, you know, what the regulations are. You know, kind of like rural America. Right. They're going to do what they want to do. So,
same with the Germans.
Finally, we have some common sense here. What do you do when you have a bunch of vape products that you've bought over the years? You have no intention of using anymore, and you don't really want to set up a shelf to display them. Well, what are you going to do with it? You got to throw it in the bin? Recycle it? Or what happens? Oh, I don't know. Maybe somebody set up like an eBay for vape stuff? Secondhand vape. The Vinted of electronic cigarettes. Because you get idiots like Kenny and I that like to have a collection, and we buy old stuff simply because, well, it's old and it's nice. And we don't mind setting up a shelf because we already got a couple of them.
Well, you used to be able to buy second-hand vapes. You used to be able to buy them on, Facebook at a marketplace full of second-hand vapes. Obviously, they banned it all, didn't they? So.
Well, I can't click on it to show you what the link is because, we don't want to get either demonetized or deplatformed here on YouTube. But I'm sure you could find this article very easily yourself and then click on the link yourself and find the website. If you have a bunch of stuff that you no longer want and you think that somebody might be able to get some benefit out of it, you might be able to recoup some of the cost of what you invested in this thing.
Google is your friend, boys and girls. Google
but
is your
before you
friend.
jump on that beautiful bandwagon, I do want to remind you guys that things are changing and some of the things don't look very promising, okay? I used to go to bluehole.com to get my vaping news. The latest things that were going on in China, regulation-wise, sales-wise, what the industries are focusing their efforts on. I saw the big shift into the cannabis vaping sphere and how the industry, basically split. You had the nicotine vaping, you had the cannabis vaping, and then all of it got put under the big China Tobacco Monopoly Administration. And they came out with these new measures for the administration of electronic cigarettes. All the vape manufacturers out there had to get licensed so they could pay their fair share of taxes.
William, that's an obsession, not a collection.
There's nothing wrong with that. William, don't listen to him.
Anti-vaping propaganda is brain poison. Yeah, it really is.
Exactly. There's no wrong.
I got only 13, but I'm proud of it.
It doesn't matter.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I haven't
if you
got
have 13 of them and you love
that.
every single one of them and you can switch back and forth between all of them, there's nothing wrong with that.
Even though I review stuff, I haven't got a huge collection. I've got a few, but I'm nowhere near 250, what William's got. Nowhere near. I don't think I ever will be, because I'll probably have to... I would have nowhere to put them.
I lost count, especially because I got a laundry hamper that's still full of ones I haven't opened yet, so we could do retro vapes. It's an investment into a production company making content for YouTube. Tax deductible.
I've still got a vintage one. I've still got the very, very first... oh, fucking hell. See, it's that old, I forgot about it. A randomizer.
Well, listen, these regulations in China are a real thing, and they do impact what stores are able to access and not access anymore. And like I said on the show yesterday, I wouldn't be surprised if once the FDA decides to clamp down here in the United States, once they get done reviewing all these PMTA applications and denying everything, they're going to clamp down on it, and it's going to be like everything else. Border protection, customs is going to be stopping things that they find. And, 90% of them aren't going to be found, and they're going to be available for sale in the store. But that's why they went to China, since that's where 98% of these products are manufactured for sale. And they put limits on things. Like, for example, did you know that they couldn't send more than 150 e-cigarette cartridges for shipping? So no more pallets of stuff are allowed to leave. And for individual sale, maximum of 10 electronic cigarette devices.
No, but they used to send a lot of stuff like shipping through Hong Kong, but our friend Mr. Trump kind of fucked that up, didn't he?
It wasn't just Trump. Bloomberg bucks went into the mayor council
Bloomberg and all that. To stop everything coming to
put a
Hong
bug
Kong,
in their
didn't they?
ear, and then they banned it, even for international flights that just landed at the airport and took off for a different destination, right? Then they realized, oh man, we lost $24 billion in commerce last year. We need to do away with this. And they did. They did away with it. But the thing is, once a business finds an alternative route, unless it's significantly cheaper to go through Hong Kong, they're not going to go back to Hong Kong.
No.
But the fact of the reality is, these regulations have forced China, even Chinese researchers, to do studies to determine, is there actually a problem of this product ending up in youth hands? And who's to blame for it? And there are studies that are done, and they're going to be linked in the description below, about these regulations and who's selling what and what the actual regulations are and who has to follow them. It is utterly preposterous how complex it have gotten. But their thing is, everybody chimes about youth use, even though it's illegal. They are studying it, and they're finding out who's to blame for it, and those places are shut down now. And that's why they clamp down on the websites in China. You want to know why, the marketing firms for these products that we buy, the websites have disappeared? It's because they're complying with the new standards from the Tobacco Monopoly Administration.
It's supposed to be affecting the marketing of the companies as well, because I've heard some well-established reviewers saying that certain companies are no longer sending them products to review.
Yep. And it's kind of upsetting because I know who you're talking about, and they're in UK. And for them not to be able to get products from these companies tells me there's something else going on in the background we haven't caught on to yet.
Well, this is it, isn't
I
it?
did the digging I could do, but a bunch of the websites I used to use to research the news are gone. Bluehole.com is still there, but there's nothing about vaping of any kind on the website. It's all about social media marketing. What's the top, person on YouTube? What's the top person on TikTok and all these other social media platforms? And what strategies are they using to get popular and stay popular? But there's nothing about vaping on it anymore. Bluehole.com is gone as far as vaping news goes.
Yep, it's probably being knocked on the head, man, by the powers that be. You know what I mean?
So the only place that you can legit get information from is companies like Reuters, who told us about these new regulations and, did a simple report on it that, unless you follow this kind of stuff, you wouldn't even know it was out there. So then you're left with the South China Morning Post as basically your only source that you can get information about what's going on over there.
I work for a Chinese part-time. I could ask him to ring home and see what's going on.
I thought about reaching out to the few companies that have actually sent me stuff in the past and go, what's going on over there that I haven't seen or haven't figured out yet? Where do I go to find out the news that you guys have to follow, what these new laws are? What are these new laws? Where do I get the information from? There's got to be someplace besides the government websites. Anyway, that's the reality of the situation here, and it's time for some more vape science since we jumped into that topic during our conversation. And here we have in the UK, this was published in The Guardian, smokers who get electronic cigarette flavor advice are more likely to quit.
Hey, positivity.
It's not just being positive, it's real. This is what we've been saying as vapors, that flavor matters. It wasn't just finding the right device. If you find the right device and they keep giving you shitty flavors that you hate, you're not going to quit smoking. You're going to keep smoking. The flavor matters. For me, it was candy cane e-liquid. Yes, I needed the Bigfoot murder kit because I needed direct to lung. But if I would have kept trying these ridiculous, yucky flavors, like the gummy worms and all this other funky stuff that I didn't enjoy, I would still be smoking. It was candy cane, that was more enjoyable than lighting a cigarette on fire. That's what worked for me.
For me, it was who made it again? Oh, they're a big brand and all. Hang on, I'll sure find out for you who it was for me. I think that's still going, actually.
Well, fortunately, Lynn Dawkins, a professor of nicotine and tobacco studies at LSBU, said smoking kills approximately 8 million people worldwide every single year. And even some of the most effective treatments have very little effect on reducing the number of smokers. From this treatment, 24.5% were smoke-free after 3 months. And a further 13% had reduced their cigarette consumption by more than 50%.
God, you can still get it. Purple Rain by V Juice. That was the juice that got me off the cigarettes.
Isn't it ironic? Purple Rain was the liquid that I used for the longest time as my all-day vape.
Yeah. It's an intense blackberry fruit mix with a cooling finish, because I used to love blackberries. And that's exactly what that was.
Purple Rain was a grape e-liquid.
Yeah. This is like a South thing, it was grape, but here would have been like the UK, it was like a blackberries. And by that, wow, it was lovely. And even though it had like a bit of cooling, it wasn't a harsh cooling, because like I say, I kind of vape them, and that was like the first all-day vape I used to vape was Purple Rain. So I used to wind the bloke up in the vape shop. I used to walk in and obviously sing the song. I need some purple rain, and the bloke used to be absolutely creased when I walked in doing that. You know what I mean?
You made his day every time you walked through the front door.
I did. You used to see him. He'd be like that, and he'd be smirking, going, "Here he comes!" And I'd come, "Purple rain." And they'd say, "I've got that." God, what?
Yeah. And that's the thing, you know, people like to hear Turk that just wants to make life miserable for smokers. You need to quit the miserable way to actually be a actual ex-smoker.
Yeah,
they don't understand it. They don't understand it. It's the pleasurable benefits that we get from vaping that empower us to quit the smoking. So, quickly wrapping up here, our science. This research examined 5 different approaches, and it was a randomized control trial, and determined that, guess what? Flavors are the most significant way for them to increase the success rate for smoking cessation. And the actual study will be linked in this description of this video down below. You can take a look at it. 1,214 participants.
These media moguls, you know, the information is there online. There's loads of information with positivity of vape, and yet none of them report it. None of them.
There's too much money for them to lose.
Exactly. I'm seriously going to email them one morning, because you can actually contact them live through bloody WhatsApp or whatever. I'm really going to have a rant at them one of these mornings, like.
Just all the data in the study if you want to learn the facts. It's out there. And the same university is also determining whether medicalization of vaping in the UK has the potential to increase the number of ex-smokers. Now, they're not looking at, just banning it and making it medical prescription only like in Australia. They're looking at adding a medicalized product for sale in the pharmacy from your doctor's prescription to add to the arsenal to get smokers to quit.
I think I've noticed a lot of vape shops now are pushing to that views. There's a lot of that stuff starting to pop up on the shelves over here lately. view or views devices.
Love them or hate them, there's a reason disposable sales have taken off. Do you want your 65-year-old or 75-year-old mother or grandmother to try and figure out an open tank vaping system? Or do you just simply want to hand them a disposable and go, hey, before you want to light up a cigarette, why don't you puff on this a little bit and see if we can get your cravings to the point where you don't even light that cigarette?
I think the views are like a cartridge style system. You buy it's like a pen device, and with all the cartridges that you buy afterwards, that go on. If I remember correctly, I can't remember off the top of my hand. I
have it here. I just don't know exactly where it's at.
Yeah, is it VUSE or is it VUE? I can't remember who it was. VUS, is it? Views, in it.
Used to sit on the shelf over there, but the problem was it kept falling over because it's just like a pencil,
That's correct, yeah. Because
but you need to put products out there that people can use without thinking twice about it.
Because the views were formerly Vape, VYPE. That's who they were originally.
VIPE.
Vape.
There are two different kinds of vapes from the same company.
Yeah.
Views Vibe and then the View Solo.
That's right, yeah. But I think at the end of the day, I don't think the UK is as much problematic with vaping in general. I think it was just this underage and disposable friggin' malarkey.
Well, yeah, we know it's not problematic because you guys are giving 1 million smokers a vape starter kit to stop smoking.
Yeah, it's just trying
including
to get
pregnant women. Not only are pregnant women going to be given the vape, they're also going to be given 400 pounds if they stop smoking.
Yeah, the incentives are there, massive. Yeah.
Now, you know yourself, when you first had kids, that's pretty damn expensive getting ready for a new baby. Having to go out and buy the crib and the diapers and all this other stuff and clothes for the kid.
Yeah. Not cheap.
So,
like I say, we still need to get our vaping laws, like all this TPD crap. They need to start bringing that forward, because if that issue is solved quick as, they might allow, more, shall we say, larger devices coming in. No, not the 6. They might allow 800 puff devices. They might allow whatever. At the moment, they're not allowed, and people are going for the big ones. That's what's selling, the black market big ones. I've seen people walking around with 1,000 puff ones, and I'm thinking, really?
Michelle Elliott points out, show me a restaurant that advertises flavorless food. Doesn't exist. Because people love their flavors. Bueno hazelnut chocolate.
There you go.
Gummy worm sounds good.
There you go, William Dobson. The NHS put a tender out for a pod system for use with the stop smoking services. Don't know what's come of that yet, because we don't know. I mean, that was a while back, so we don't know what's come of that, because there was a lot of companies putting their tenders in. But I think obviously this disposable crisis that we're in at the moment kind of probably put it back a bit, I suppose. I think they're probably sitting and wait to see what happens with it.
This is going to take time for it to be implemented, but they're literally, Public Health England is working with councils and others to offer 1 million smokers across England a free vaping starter kit. 1 in 5 smokers in the UK will get a free vaping kit to encourage them to stop smoking.
Yeah. The thing is, like you said, the disposables, I'm not knocking, they've got to place. It's like you said, because a lot of smokers are the old diehards, the people that's probably now in their 70s, 80s, who can't rebuild things, or they can't, do this for that for whatever reason. So a disposable will be the perfect, item for them. And that's what there is a lot of over here. There's old school smokers who just haven't quit, don't want to quit, or have tried quitting hundreds of times and just feel miserably. You know what I mean?
Well, right now here in
And
the
I'll
United
tell you-
States, there's a massive campaign going on from the American Heart Association, and it is literally being regurgitated all across the country. Good Morning America was the first one I caught on, but there's dozens of other news sites out there talking about this same study. And I'm sick and tired of these studies looking at non-smokers, non-users of any product, perfect little angels of society, and comparing their health outcome to people that are like them, and they decide that they want to start vaping. Have we lost our freaking minds here? They're not going to die from picking up this habit of vaping. Does it affect your heart and lungs and brain? Of course it does. But so does your coffee.
It's a stimulant at the end of the day, whichever way you take it. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what it is. I've talked about my story about how I started smoking before, and it was working a midnight shift where we ran out of coffee. Well, I mean, it's not that we ran out of it. I just couldn't drink any more of it. I was about to float out of the store. And I was still tired and ready to fall asleep, standing there waiting for customers to come through the door or my shift to be over, whichever came first. And I'm sitting here looking at all these cigarettes and going, well, which one of these am I going to try? Because I've tried everything else. I bought a pack, and I was a smoker from that day forward.
Exactly.
And I was a 3-pack-a-day smoker when I quit. And the only thing that let me quit, or empowered me to quit, was nicotine vaping.
It's proof that it works. You know, like I say, I was a hardened smoker. You know, I was smoking, like I say, 40 to 60 cigarettes a day without even batting an eyelid. You know what I mean? And you know yourself then, you know, if you didn't have a cigarette, you were like 10 bears with a sore head. You know, you were horrible.
Mick, hello and welcome to the stream, the late night
Mick,
show.
Sir, how you doing? How you doing, Mick? So that's what I mean. Like when they talk about like nicotine levels, I think it's 20 milligram here at the moment, and the one to try and up it. I don't necessarily think we need to, because I was a hardened smoker. I smoked for fun. I ate them, and I stopped on 20 milligram. Why can't anybody else? See, what people do realize is they're thinking they're relying, they think you're more reliant on the nicotine. It's not just about vaping. You've got to have the mindset. You've got to want to quit. If you don't want to quit, you never will. Doesn't matter what you use, whether it be nicotine patches, vape devices. If you do not want to quit, you will not quit. It's simple as that. Vaping and whatever else you use is an aid to help you to quit, but you've got to want to quit. It's not a miracle. It's not like, oh, I'm going to pick this up. I'm cured. I don't smoke anymore. No, you've got to want to stop smoking, or that is not going to work for you as anything else will.
Hey, Bastard, hello and welcome to the stream. And like I talked about in the first half of the show, Mick is here from the late night show. Check out his Monday night show, episode 11, if you want to see my guest appearance on it.
Nice. I say you got him, Mick. You did get him, eh?
Fantastic bunch of guys.
Oh, lovely guy, Mick. Awesome. Absolutely.
Well, sir, I think we've ranted for quite some time now. We've been at this for an hour and a half already. I think it's time for us to do our flavor
See
explosion.
what I mean? These UK shows, man, an hour, and do that near bother on my head. Easy.
Yeah, and I've only okay, so maybe it's more than a dozen websites we took a look at and complained about.
Yeah, it's still, you know, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, people wonder why I
Let's have
don't
that
like
nice-
doing the news every single week. It just gets so disheartening.
Well,
Wading
let's,
through the muck.
Well, let's celebrate with a nice drink.
Fantastic. Awesome. And for today, I'm going to have the same thing I had yesterday on the show. Arnold Palmer Spiked. It's half and half, iced tea and lemonade. And as I found out yesterday, on the very top of the can, they hide it with a little tiny print, and it says 5% alcohol by volume. Real juice, select teas, and 5% alcohol by volume. And man, this thing tastes so fantastic. You can't even tell if there's any alcohol in this. You can't tell one bit. And now for my UK chum.
I've gone safe again. I've stuck with the French because I haven't had this for a while and I thoroughly enjoyed it last week. I've gone for the 1664 again. Absolutely love this. This is, like I said, the Brazil FSF de Pierre. You know, my French is absolutely crap, but I absolutely love it. And it is a pint can. And again, I'm matchy with the alcohol volume. It's 5% alcohol volume. And it is a bloody wonderful, refreshingly cool lager, boys and girls. Absolutely love it. That's all. That's me done. Lovely. Actually,
cheers to your health, mate.
I'll cheers to your health, sir. But as an advocate for underage drinking, I think that drink you're drinking is absolutely disgusting. That is aimed at children. It has got pop. It is flavoured pop, and it has got alcohol in it, and it shouldn't be allowed. It should be banned. There.
And I'm going to take the same stance I have with my vape. You can take it out of my cold, bloody, dead hands.
You can shove it up your ass.
Yup, because it is definitely...
Now that's refreshing.
Very refreshing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Back it all up. But it's just a comparison thing. That's all I'm saying.
I'm making a personal injury claim.
You can stick it right up your keister.
I don't care.
And the best part about this one is, I'm not a golfer, okay? But this is one of the rare drinks that you can get that even after it warms up, you can't really tell there's any alcohol in it. A perfect combination of tea and lemonade, puckers your mouth up, gets your jowls just salivating. So refreshing, especially in the summertime.
Well, I'm enjoying me hops because summertime is no longer here in the UK. It's rainy season now here in the UK because it's just rained constantly.
Is it raining there now? Yes, it is.
Yeah,
14 Celsius and rain.
We have
90% humidity. You
Yeah,
gotta go outside with a towel.
It's just pure moisture for the rain because we've had thunderstorms, we've had thunder, lightning, all that usual blah blah blah.
Yeah, they're calling for rain later today too, but it's only 24 here.
Like I say, it's been raining, but it's still been warm, but it's just been absolutely lashing it down, absolutely hiding it down. But again, like I say, you look at all of Europe now, and you just bit off top of the global one, and look at the temperatures Europe's got now. Look at Italy. They're hitting 45, 46 degrees, for Christ's sake. It's never been known. Yeah. There's in Death Valley over in your part of the world. They reckon it's going to break the record for the hottest place ever recorded on Earth this year due to global warming.
Yeah, I saw a map of the country and the temperatures and stuff, and out west, they were looking at above 100-degree temperature for like 20% of the country. Mm-hmm. It was going to be above 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Crazy. Well, even Europe, it's never been known in Europe, of that. I mean, never, ever in my lifetime. Never. Absolutely never. I think Italy's got the hottest, or it has the hottest at the moment, but it's all over. Spain, Portugal, all the Mediterranean, all plus 40 degrees. Easy. But tell everybody not to go out They're not going out when it's midday. There's actually people not working. Actually, the Spanish siesta is the siesta. Come 12 o'clock, it's tools down. I ain't working in that shit. You know what I mean?
Hey, bastard, wants you singing again.
Oh, me singing Purple Rain.
It's pretty crappy here, too, in the Netherlands.
Just north, we're like, I don't know.
Dog's Day, hello and welcome to the stream.
Hello, Dog's Day. Here to you, sir. There you go.
Mallory says, if you was a fish in the UK, you'd be in love with the weather.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's a nice comment there for Dog's Day. He's thankful for vaping. Had to quit last month after a heart attack. Started vaping. No more cravings. 6 weeks cigarette-free. 40 years. There. Well done, sir.
Awesome. Congratulations, my friend.
You hang in there, mate. You hang in there. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, man.
That's fantastic.
Awesome. Brilliant. See, proof is in the pudding,
keep on
mate.
vaping
Proof
like
is
their
in the
lives
pudding.
depend on it, because they kind of do.
Yep. Our lives do depend on it.
You
I was just thinking about that the other day.
you.
I'm like, if I, for some reason, lost everything in this house and was no longer able to access vaping products, I'd go back to smoking. I know I would. I wouldn't do it originally, but I'm sure there would come a day that I got so stressed out that I wanted to find a way to cope with it. And I'm not the kind of person where I'm just going to go get hammered, and drink my problems away. Because if I did that, I would still end up smoking, because that's when I'd smoke the most, when I was at the bar.
It could be a life event as well, just a shock to the system, passing of somebody, whatever. I mean, I remember years ago I'd actually stopped smoking. I went cold turkey. I hadn't had a cigarette for about 10 weeks. And then I had a road traffic accident. I knocked somebody over. As soon as I got out of the car, bloke come over. Here, do you want a fag? Fucking gives a pack. Straight back on them.
Hey, I was down to 0 milligram. And that all worked perfectly fine and dandy until the one day I was DJing and the computer crashed and it was just the whole day was turning to shit. And if it wasn't for a bottle of 3 milligram I still had in the truck, I would have lit up a cigarette that day.
Yeah. Easy. They still see it to this day, and I've spoken to loads of people in the past who quit smoking, that if they weren't vaping anything, even though they'd quit smoking, they could easily pick a cigarette up again and smoke again. Not even think twice about it.
Vaping is all you need. Matter of fact, you were talking about how you have to want it to quit. It's not true for everybody. I've seen scientific studies that legit say people got enrolled in the trial, into the study, because they wanted to cut down on their smoking. They didn't want to completely quit. They just wanted to cut down on it. So they enrolled in the study, and half the people that were in the study actually quit smoking. That wasn't their intention. Their intention was just simply to cut back on how much they smoke.
I know, but they volunteered for a trial, so the mindset there's twigged in, isn't it? They might have went in with the thing, well, you'll not stop me smoking. Nah, you'll never stop me smoking. And they were proven wrong.
And then you find out how pleasurable it is to vape instead of smoking. And you're like, I don't want the cigarette anymore. Why would I? It tastes like shit. Especially because the more that you vape, the more your taste buds come back. And less of an effect that the cigarette smoke has on your taste buds. And then all of a sudden, even the food tastes so much better. You go to enjoy your dinner, and it's just like,
you smell,
it's that good. And then it's like having dessert without actually eating dessert.
There you go. Good luck. We wish you all the luck in the world. Go for it.
She can do it. I guarantee.
She can.
It's just finding the right flavor and the right device.
It's like I say, some people, like I say, the spur of the moment quit, as you know, like I say, they'll walk in the shop and they think, Christ, cigarettes have gone up again by £1. Oh, how much are vapes? Bang.
But it's got to be cheaper. Hawaii is going down the whole wrong path, making it cost the same to vape or smoke. We've already proven if you use a vaping product, you start vaping and you're still smoking, you're a dual user, as long as you vape more than you smoke and you cut your smoking in half, you've already improved your health outcome.
I still think habit has got a lot to do with it. The hand movement. I still think
that.
Yeah, a lot of it is still habit. Like you said, some people don't realise when they're vaping that they don't need the nicotine. They're not bothered with it. It's just the habit of doing this, and it's the habit. There you go. 2 years and 4 months. Well done.
Congratulations. Well done. Fantastic job.
Brilliant. Oh, you've come to the right place here. You have come to the right place here, my friend. What's your flavor?
You can get any flavor.
Anything you like.
The hard part is, and even the researchers don't know this, what you enjoy vaping isn't necessarily what you enjoy eating. Yes, if you enjoy eating it, you're more than likely going to enjoy vaping it, but it might not be what you need as an all-day vape to stay away from combustible tobacco. For me, it was candy cane. And wintertime, Christmas time, I'd love having a little starred mint to have in my mouth, but I couldn't eat that candy year round, but I can vape that same flavor and never get sick of it.
Hello, Vape and Bic. Hello, Vape and Bic. I hope I pronounced that correctly, because they're being Dutch. Bic, I think.
Another one from the Netherlands. Appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you very much. I think it's you kind of find your niche. I mean, because you can see, vape and e-lic was the kind of put them into like categories. You've got fruits, you've got custards, you've got bakes or cakes or whatever. So you've got to find your niche first, and then try everything. Try fruits. I'm a custard fan, as you all know. I like custards. This guy,
I love eating custards.
Punch.
I don't really enjoy vaping them. I've had some really good ones, but it's not something that it could be my all-day vape. But I could certainly eat a custard every day.
But it's something you would have but something you would have as a change, perhaps. You think, I'll try a custard for a couple of vapes. I'll try this, but your general flavor is, you're a fruit guy or you're a dessert guy. There's so many genres you can pop into. So you've got to find out where you, if you pardon the pun, your sweet spot is. What you like to vape, eat, whatever. And then take
Purple
it from
Rain
there.
and Grape was my all-day vape for the longest time, but nowadays I have grape e-liquid here, and I've tried it in a couple different tanks, but it's like I don't want it anymore. I don't enjoy it anymore.
Exactly. You'd probably find an all-day vape to actually quit. Like you say, I've done Purple Rain. Hunky Vape done the old candy cane. That was your initial one that you went, I like this and I'm going to stick with it, and till you quit. But then obviously you branch out, you try other flavours, and you find your niche. You find what you like.
Ted Baker, hello and welcome to the stream.
Hello, Ted. You could be an all-rounder. I'm generally an all-rounder. I do like vaping fruits now and then. I like vaping bakeries now and then. I like custard. I like all sorts. Technically, I'll give anything a go. There is certain flavors I don't like. Mango, melon, or watermelon. I don't even like them as a food, so there's no way I'm going to vape them. But that's just down to the individual taste. It's so subjective. It's down to what you like and what you like the taste of.
And everybody's different.
Yeah.
I like cookies and cakes and stuff, but I'm like hit or miss when it comes to actually vaping them. I've had some wonderful, cookie e-liquids, and well, guess what? It's just not my cup of tea.
There's obviously some foods as well that you can probably get as a vape, but it doesn't taste nothing like it because it's a hard flavor to replicate. You know what I mean? Cherry Bakewell is a fine example. I've yet to come across a good Cherry Bakewell. I've come close, but not a good cherry bagel. A lot of the cherry bagels have got the cherry, they've got the icing on top, it's that almond, you know, they're not hitting the almondy bit on the spot. That's what's missing out of a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's really hard when you start developing your own recipes and stuff. The important thing is to learn your single flavor profiles so that you know what to expect when you use that as an ingredient. It's like eating.
Yeah.
You know, if you were to, you know, be a chef and you want to come up with this fantastic recipe for dinner, you can pull up all kinds of ideas online. And it might be your cup of tea, or it might not. Or you might like it, but go, well, this would be really better if I up the garlic in there and, you know, cut back the onions a little bit and added more pepper to it to give it a little more kick. Everybody has to customize it to what you love.
It's doing a bit of research as well. I mean, like you say, Alex, he's got a book on food flavorings, you know, that pear. And he's got flavorings that pear that you would never even think of. And that's an inspiration, the Flavour Bible, and that's an inspiration for mixers that go, well, hang on, I've never seen that flavour or that flavour. Let's have a go.
Addie Tooney recommended this. I picked this thing up, and it's just unbelievable. Some of the things that, you know, you can pair up together that I never would have thought of. Like, you know, fennel's an ingredient that we have access to as vapors, and it goes well with almonds, anise, apples, arugula, asparagus, basil. There's a bunch of things in here that you can't make the liquid to pair with it. But if you go, I want to do an apple, well, what goes with apple? You'd be surprised at the list of things you could put into apple that complement it and lets you recognize multiple flavor profiles.
Yeah. It's basically, at the end of the day, your flavors are replicating a flavor you like, whether it be a food or a beverage, or, you know, that's what you're trying to replicate, aren't you, at the end of the day. Mallory Gates, if you want to vape a beef taco, lol. Oh, a beef taco. See, now, I would give it a go, but I don't think I would like it.
Yeah. That's like Dave has made himself, you know, a bunch of like stir-fried rice and stuff.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if I would want to vape that.
It's whatever.
I would try it on a dare or on a bet just to try it, but I don't think it would ever be my all-day vape.
But it is a thing, though. You don't see a lot of savoury vapes. See, it's all sweets, custards, cakes. Maybe there's not a lot of savoury stuff out, because you must think, well, how can you replicate that? Or could I vape a curry? You know, it's whatever rocks your boat, isn't it?
Yeah, we talked about that before too. You know, Dave made Steve the ham and cheese croissant.
That's right, yeah.
But it's like when Phil Basardo was vaping that crab juice.
Oh,
vaping seafood? No.
Yeah, man. Kippers.
As a charity fundraiser, okay, I try it, but no.
Yeah. What are you vaping today? I'm vaping a smoked kipper.
People want to complain about anchovies on their pizza. Imagine having to vape it.
I mean, imagine like the smell. Like people be walking past going, what the hell is that? Oh, it's Harrigan chips, mate. Lovely.
Yeah, no.
Oh God! But you know, it's so subjective, you know, because whatever you think's disgusting, there'll be somebody out there who loves it. It's as simple as
But there are certain flavor profiles that are pretty unanimous on being accepted or approved of, or people that we definitely willing to try.
Cheesecake.
Everybody loves cheesecake.
Cheesecake.
And cheesecake's in a lot of recipes, especially when you pair it with like a strawberry or a peach, or, you know, cheesecake and fruits go together like crazy. And when you look on ELR, you see a ton of recipes that are made like that.
They're kind of like a base on like a cheesecake. You can literally put anything in a cheesecake. Like a custard as well. You can literally put any fruit in with a custard. You know, they're a base to start adding to, technically, aren't they, when you think about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like donuts. I mean, donuts another big one. Donuts. How many donut flavors have you seen? There's thousands of them. You know what I mean? Ice donut,
jelly
glazed
donut. Glazed donuts, just chocolate donuts.
Yeah, but your donut is your base flavor. You know what I mean? Ted Baker, what tanks have you used? And I think you must have just missed us, Guy. We on Kylan 3, and my new edition, the Eris. I'm not going to jump at any chance to promote this, you know, this guy.
And the Arbiter.
And the Arbiter.
And the Arbiter 2.
And the Arbiter 2. And I'm even got a little Vaporizer swag thing as a pod system. So there you go.
Listen, I've got the Vaporizer swag set up with the drop 1.5 for testing flavors. But, you know, worst case scenario, we can always go back to the Titan.
The Titan, yeah.
Crave.
Yeah. I need to get that thing you were talking about. Is that the 510 adapter you said you can get for this? Wasn't it?
Yes.
I need to get that.
And it's cheap as chips. I think it's like $1.86 or something.
Because I've got some nice little single RTAs. The Doom would get on that lovely. It's nice and small and compact. The Doom would sit lovely on there. Mm-hmm. Which you've still got. You've still yet to try again. The original Doom. You found it, but you've yet to try it.
Yes, I did find it though. I did find it.
I remember.
And I'm still impressed with this diesel. Here we have a tank from how many years ago? We did that for the 4th of July.
Yeah.
My only problem is that I thin the wicks a little too much because every once in a while when I pick it up after it's been sitting on my desk for a week, you can tell it's a little gurgly inside there.
Yeah.
But it's a simple fix. You purge it and it's ready to go. Once you get rid of that excess that's built up on it, it's a piece of cake. Well, sir, are we going to go with retro vape or are we going to do the random recipe? What you in the mood for?
I'm in the mood for a random recipe, mate. I need a flavor inspiration.
And Sherlock Holmes created a nice little list for us to try out today.
Oh.
Apple candy. Very simple recipe using apple candy and a little bit of sour to crank up that kick. Cool kiwi tardies.
Oh my God.
2% of cooling agent. We have 2.3% of kiwi double and 3.3% of sour. What is with the sour kick on everybody?
Yeah, yuck.
Grapes rejoice. I'm going to pass on that one because I'm not really in the mood for it. This one looks like a wonderful recipe, but that's going to take a long time to steep.
Ooh.
To ripen all of those custards and cheesecake, vanilla bean ice cream, vanilla custard. Now, this is something that Kenny would love to have, but he's not patient enough to wait. I would literally think this would take at least 2 months to get the full flavor profile of this custard.
I'll tell you what, right? Make it now and send us it over Christmas.
Well, the recipe calls for 120 mils. Listen, that's what you want, mate? I had a 30 ml bottle out, but I'll get 120 out.
What am I looking for?
Why not?
Vaporizer. Swag. It's RDA deck, isn't it? Is it R? What am I? R. 510, man. Dick.
And it's at the 3%. Last time I checked, that's what you were on.
Mm-hmm.
3 ml?
3 ml, yeah.
3 mg?
And 3 mg.
We can do this.
3 mg. Oh, Amazon do it, believe it or not. Hey, I'll get that tomorrow. No way.
You were just cussing about us ordering stuff from there, and there you are ordering something.
Bloody hell, it's expensive on Amazon. Robin gets.
All right, 3.6 mLs of our secret sauce is going to be 4.3 grams. I don't want to shortchange you or overload you.
Yeah.
There you go. Very nice. So, jumping back to the recipe, I need to gather up Flavor Art Custard Premium.
Oh.
Capella's French Vanilla. That's a wonderful flavor there. Capella's Cheesecake, New York Cheesecake. Super Sweet. Vanilla Bean Ice Cream from TPA. Which I have to get some more of because I'm just about out of it.
Oh.
But definitely have the 1.5 that we should have for this. And then Capella's Vanilla Custard. There you go. Flavor Arts Custard Premium. We need 6 mils or 6 grams of this.
Blah, 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 blah.
This ought to be perfect by Christmas.
Oh, hell yeah.
Bloody fool. Thinking that it was going to be right up there. Capella's French Vanilla, we need 2.34.
Yay! Windows print screen. There you go. £7.98 for the Swag PX85 10 adapter. Bought.
Nice.
Done. £8 including shipping. What can I say?
New York Cheesecake. 3.6.
It already looks a nice colour to start with, doesn't it? Look at that colour, man. God damn.
Some of these flavorings, they definitely get a lot darker. A lot of the chocolates and coffees and stuff especially.
Hell yeah. 60-watt guy, I use a mech now and then. And I'm not going to run and get them. I've got the Bonzer, I've got the Heavy Hitter, I've got the Hog 4, I think I've got a Hog 2 or 3. I can't remember which version
Maybe
it is,
the
but
battery's been removed from this.
Oh, yeah.
Sure is.
Yep, that's the
We'll have
correct
to
way to
work
store
for that
them.
later. All right, next up, just a wee bit of super sweet, 1%. This is going to be 1.2, 1.28 grams.
21700 max. Ooh. Was the clutch a 21700 mech mod? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
It's been discontinued though.
Oh,
I checked out Post website the other day.
You'd be hard to get one now, like hen's teeth. Might be a shop somewhere that might have one sitting on the shelf gathering dust.
You have to place an order from Bull City Flavors. Because this one seems to be getting a lot of action.
Oh, yes.
A lot of recipes with vanilla bean ice cream as a flavor.
You get that, don't you, though? Sometimes, I mean, you know, like... It's like I said, it's like a base recipe menu that, you know, a lot of stuff's get like your super sweet and all that. That's like your base stuff that everybody always has to make recipes with.
All right, so 4.8.
You know what? That looks like a fine scotch, that does.
That it does.
That's like a nice malt whiskey, that does. Evolution Vaping Saga.
So, PG, we're looking at 16 grams. And you don't have to be so critical about it. So your 70-30 is not 70-30, it's 69, whatever.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. Drinking so much. Jesus. A gram here or a gram there is no, does it? Wow.
Time for a refill on these bottles.
Oh, yes, you're going to have to get yourself some more stock insert.
What were you saying?
You'll have to get your stock sorted out, sir.
No, I just need to get 2 bottles to put it in.
I'm just browsing on Evolution Vapes at the moment because they've got a sale on. You can get the Asgard Mini RDA by Vapors Cloud for $29.99. Wow.
For the Asgard Mini?
Yeah. 30 English pounds.
You could send that to me for Christmas.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry, I'm telling you, you want a cheap mod, just give us a shout out, or cheap device, give us a shout out, pick it up. Not a problem. Not a problem, sir.
So, there is your e-liquid.
Oh my God.
Give it a good shake.
At that. That just looks nice now.
And I'm going to throw a label on here so I don't forget about it.
Yeah, put Do Not Open Till Christmas on.
She sealed it beautiful.
Wow, man. Launcher. Never heard of that one.
All right. Creed's Custard Remix AJ.
It just looks delicious, that recipe. Just melt in the mouth.
It does.
Oh. My God. The Next Mesh Pro RBA deck by Watofo. That's for the RBA deck was only £5. Wow.
Yeah, that was the one. Remember I told you there's all different kinds of coils in there? You had round wire in there, in mesh, in the dual.
That's right, yeah.
And then it was completely different for the single.
Weird, isn't it? Have you ever tried any of these Borrow tanks yet? I've never tried one.
No, I haven't. I haven't gotten into the whole Burra sphere of things.
No, it's something I've never dove into, but I've heard a lot.
I like cloud chucking tanks, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not that they weren't produce enough vapor. It's just I lean towards the Steam Crave Titan because you literally take your bottle and just dump it in there.
Oh yeah.
And you don't have to worry about filling it up again and all this other stuff or tinkering with it.
That's true enough. I think some of them are just too complicated to fanny on with.
All ready to go for you.
Thank you very much, sir. You're an absolute legend. Know what I'll be doing Christmas Day?
I'll have to make you some Christmas pudding. I haven't done that recipe in a while.
Christmas pudding. Wow.
Nice rum-backed Christmas pudding.
Oh. Nowadays we're talking Christmas, it seems so long away, but it'll sharp creep up, won't it? Jesus Christ. This year is just
here we are halfway through the summer already. What is going on this year?
Time's just gone on this. What the hell?
Oh, there goes half the summer. Sorry.
Yeah. It's my birthday in about 14 days.
My daughter's going to be graduating this coming year.
Yeah. My birthday is in about a week or two's time. Bloody hell. Oh.
Adapt this. We did it 120. It was a 3. Everything else stays the same. So I save it to my recipes in case you ever want it again. Because I've made that mistake before. And you're like, whoa, I don't remember making this one. Or I remember making it, but I can't find a recipe for it.
Oh, God. There you go. Dogs may be man's best friends, but cats don't show the cops where you hide your drug stash. How true.
Oh, man. Oh, go back.
Holy shit. Wife has a billet box, but the bridge and tank and inner screw buttons, you're looking at 500 quid. Fuck.
How about One Hit Wonder Milkman?
Oh.
Do you think that they nailed this recipe? Bavarian cream, cotton candy they're using for the sweetener, TPA's marshmallow, TPA strawberry and strawberry ripe, sweet cream at 4%. They're using more ethyl maltol from TPA sweetener, which is a combination of sucralose and ethyl maltol, and vanilla bean ice cream.
Wow, that sounds nice. Sounds very sweet.
I'm just wondering if that 7% of strawberry is going to be enough.
Maybe not.
That one looked interesting. Listen, we could sit here and make recipes all day long, especially with all, the wonderful flavors we got.
Oh, without a doubt.
Remember this one?
Oh, yes.
Do you like that one?
Oh, it was gorgeous. Absolutely loved it.
We'll have to make another one.
I think it lasted over 3 days.
Listen, I think I need to make 2 of them. One for you and one for me.
Oh, lovely. Absolutely lovely.
You can enjoy this one on the actual show for Christmas. A Christmas episode.
Really, really nice.
This is fantastic. Really, it takes a little while for the banana to settle into the recipe and come, and be at the right percentage. But oh man, is this a delicious recipe?
But that's what it says. The banana, you nailed it because it wasn't overpowered. It wasn't like a get overpowering banana candy. It was just sitting there. You know what I mean? It wasn't in your face. It was absolutely lovely. It didn't drown out every other flavor. You could pick up other stuff, especially the grain.
It's like a banana custard with a dab of marshmallow on top, marshmallow cream.
Yeah.
And the graham cracker is just the right percentage. You could tell it's a complimentary tart that you're vaping. It's not. It doesn't overpower. It doesn't hide. It's right there.
That's what I'm saying. Even though the banana is the prominent flavor, even that's not overpowering because you're getting all the other flavors coming out as well. It was lush.
Oh,
absolutely
fantastic
spot on.
flavor.
I loved it.
Fantastic recipe.
Absolutely loved it.
Like I said, we could sit here and mix all day long.
It's just the mind boggles, man, doesn't it? It's just a case of using your imagination.
I'm curious to try.
Really.
Dusty has a couple times now talked about how he's got this absinthe custard that he's made up.
Oh, yeah. You were saying,
I have to get him to send us the recipe for it.
Definitely.
I'm ordering that absinthe flavor. I want to find out what this thing is like.
There's a lot of hype around it, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, absinthe is one of those prohibited alcohols. You're not supposed to have absinthe. It's not supposed to be good for you. It was banned, like vaping, in a lot of the countries because they said that it would make you mad. It would make you insane.
I suppose any kind of strong alcohol does that. Doesn't matter what it is.
It has nothing to do with the fact that it was absinthe or from wormwood. That's where they distill it from. It was just another drunk.
Just said that about moonshine and look what happened with that.
Yep, and look how big it is now.
Oh, exactly.
You walk into any state store and you can find, moonshine. Apple pie moonshine, all kinds.
And that was a result of fucking banning alcohol. So there you go. Classic example.
The history of alcohol, though, is actually very interesting when you take a look at it. And you come to realize, especially in the Roman times, because the water and sewage wasn't a thing at that time, the only safe liquid that you could consume on a regular basis was beer, was fermented alcoholic beverages, because it literally made the water safe to consume.
Yeah.
Even here in the United States, when the colonies first settled, that was a big commodity.
I mean, the big thing in Albert, like the Roman towns, are like, the massive wine drinkers and all that shit,
Yeah, and if they keep using Agent Orange to fertilize the farms, we're going to be going back to that same thing because our water supply is going to be so contaminated.
Yeah.
We don't dare drink it.
Nah. Crazy, man.
What was the banana concentrate that you got in that recipe, or the raw banana? SSA, real ripe banana from SSA. Very good.
Really nice.
Probably the best banana I've tasted.
Yes, totally agree with that one.
Because it gives you that that sticky banana mouthfeel that you get from it. It wasn't just a banana candy. There was something else there.
Yeah.
It's not very strong. I wish it was more concentrated. But then again, a lot of the times when you over-concentrate things, you lose the actual flavor profile that you have.
Yeah, it's like overkill, isn't it?
Yeah. It's hard when you're DIYing to find the right percentage. How far can you legitimately push the flavor profile before it loses its profile and just becomes like, you know, chemically crap. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably, you're probably hearing it on there because you get some liquids that taste very chemically because they're probably just over-concentrating the flavour.
Yep. Michael Redfern, hello and welcome to your lunch hour.
Hello, Michael. How are you doing, sir?
Awesome.
Yeah. William Dobbs was saying that ale houses in the UK was the answer to the Black Death. Yeah, he just got pissed and forgot about it.
Well, no, that was the way that they got people to consume the fluids that they needed to not be dehydrated.
Yeah. I thought that they must have thought, I'm going to go happy. Another pint, please, barman. More tea, Vicar? No, more than a pint.
Put everything back in its place. That's going to be interesting how I get these reorganized when I bring that other desk in here.
I don't even relish. I don't envy you at all for that, mate. Honestly, not.
But like you said, what else am I going to find that was, fell off my desk and is hidden underneath it and it's been there for God knows how long? Plus, it'd be nice to actually run the sweeper in here.
You might find a juice you made 10 years ago that might taste absolutely fabulous now.
There's a lot of the juices that I've made that I put into the box. And every once in a while, I'll pull that box out and take like 5 or 6 bottles and, prepare the drops and actually flavor test them. And holy cow, some of these shitty recipes that we had actually do turn out really nice.
I've stood for a while.
Once you let them sit for a while, intermingle in there and break down or whatever they're doing, and the flavor profile just takes on a whole new light from what it was original when you first put it together.
I think that's what I'm saying. That's my only gripe with mixing the steep times and stuff. But it's got to be done at the end of the day.
Well, sir, I think it's time for us to jump into our retro vape and find out how this vape fly Krimhilda is.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, mate. Let's rock and roll.
A long time ago, in a galaxy not so far away, Vapefly released the Krimhild Sub-Ohm tank. Germans love their big, tall tanks. And as you can see, there's a little arrow clearly marked on the top. You lift this up and slide it open to fill it. That's awesome. And this bottom I couldn't get off before. It was so freaking tight. Took a while and some VG and some cleaning afterwards, and now it comes off beautifully. And this is a stock coil Sub-Ohm tank with, I think, 4 or 5 different coil options that are standard. Let's take a look at this. Jump you over to the page. So there we have 4 different coil options. We have the KA1, Kanthal A1, 0.3 ohm single mesh coil, 40 to 60 watts. The NI80 0.2 ohm single mesh coil for 50 to 70 watts. We have a Kanthal 0.2 ohm dual mesh coil, 45 to 70, and a Nichrome 0.15 ohm triple mesh core, 50 to 80 watts. But that's not what got my attention on this. The thing that got my attention on this is this right here. The rebuildable mesh coil option. And this is a separate purchase, but you got yourself this rebuildable frame for your coil. You also got a tool for you to wrap your mesh and a bunch of mesh strips. And that is what we have here, ladies and gentlemen. In addition to that, they also sold the tool separately in case you happen to misplace yours. And then you had the kit, which includes the Kanthal mesh strips and the cotton that you need for your wicking. I got probably a dozen of these set up so that, well, for the vape apocalypse fear that I had, I would always be able to enjoy a beautiful mesh vaping experience. And this is what the actual kit came like. That has the coil in it, has the tool in it, has your O-rings and your seals to make your contact. What I do not see in here, which is kind of surprising, is your wicking. Where's the wicking?
Sorry, guys. Lavatory break.
So you have the RMC, but there's no wicking. That's what you need
to
this
make
for.
longer bumpers.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Wait, what
But you missed out on
hired. Oh,
the Crime Held RMC.
The Crime Held for advanced
rebuildable
vapors.
mesh coil. So that you technically have 5 different coil options. You have 4 stock coil options. And if you can't get those anymore, well, guess what? You can make your own rebuildable mesh coil.
Holy moly.
With this kit.
That's kind of cool.
The only time I have ever seen them sell a rebuildable conversion for your stock coil tank that uses the same style airflow that the stock coils use.
That's so odd. It's clever, but odd.
Yes, very. And you have to wonder why other people haven't done the same thing.
Yeah. Well, obviously,
strictly
they're going
greed?
to make money. I'm going to make money out of stock coils, aren't they? See, they would prefer you to buy the coils rather than you make your own. It's economics, isn't it?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. They sold this kit, right? The only option you have is Kanthal. Why couldn't you made a kit available in nichrome?
Yeah. Got you.
But it's still, I mean...
Hold on, no, but what we're talking technology, though, how long ago was that? Was it Crime Held RMC, was it?
Yeah. From Vapefly.
Yeah. RMC. Still people selling coils. There's still coils going for it. The RBA and RBMC coils, and they're roughly going here for about £7. So when was that?
Glass?
RMC. Yeah.
Look at that beautiful coil. That mesh in there. 0.2 ohm. This is the NI80, 50 to 80 watts.
It was brung. I've just checked. You're looking at about 2021 by the looks of it. So it's only a couple of years old. So that's what I've noticed. You can still actually get the coils for it. But it's only a couple of years old.
And this is the triple mesh coil.
Yeah, you can still buy the coils at roughly about $4.99 a piece. Still a lot of money for
$5
coil,
is what they selling coils for
Yeah.
here in the States in the vape shops.
Yeah, it's still a lot of money in it for a coil. I mean, if you want a pack of 5, you know there's 25 quid in it.
Well, that was the advantage of this. You know, you bought yourself the rebuildable kit, and you bought yourself a 10-pack of these. So you have 10 mesh strips, and I'm assuming 10 strips of cotton. And if you're a cheapskate, you could probably use each of these strips for 2 re-wicking sessions.
When you run out, you can use your own Muji cotton. I remember because I had a similar thing from Nature Vape, Market Nature Vape UK online shop, and he come out with the Nest RDA, and that had a rebuild. That's how you rebuild your coils. It was a mesh rebuildable coil, like a stock coil. Like I say, you just once you run out of coils or mesh, you could. I mean, I think it still sells the parts, but you could use, you know, Muji cotton, whatever. That's right, William, the Nest RDA. Oh, where'd you get that from, William Dobson? You've got to give me some info, mate. He got the Wasp Nano.
Really?
Who's still got the Wasp Nano? Who's still? Come on, William, spill the beans. That was a cracking RD in its day. Now the Wasps, I think you get the Wasp Nano. I think they've done a tank as well. You know, they were cracking flavour for when it come out.
A lot of DIYers say that that's what they use to flavor test their recipes.
Oh, the Wasp Nano was fantastic. Sure, they've done a tank and all. I'm positive they did.
She's full.
But the RDA was fantastic. Because everybody was into the goon and all that shit, you know, and then they came along with that and they just blew it away, you know what I mean? It was more cheaper and more easily accessible.
It looks kind of funky. On the Aegis Max.
Actually, it's quite matchy though, isn't it? You know what I mean? The black there, you know.
It goes with it.
Yeah.
But I think it may be better suited for something like this Lost Vape Dilemma. I mean, I got the Matto on there, which is still a fantastic RTA, I'm sorry.
God, I love this.
Look at these tall tanks.
It's tall.
It's a tall tank.
I think all the Kremheils are tall tanks. Like, I think loads of them are tall.
.24. I'm trying 45, 46. Up to 50. His battery's about half done.
Whoa! Ooh! Oh.
Holy airflow. You hear that?
That's noisy.
There's some turbulence in there. And if you look through the side of this thing, you probably won't be able to see it. The lighting's not going to be right. But the bottom of the coil actually is down halfway inside that airflow when you're looking. So the air has to hit the coil, go down, and then do a 180 to come back up.
Ah, right.
So it's a matter of, do you want to make the tank taller and circumvent this airflow problem, or leave it the way it is and all right, let me put this stuff away. In my exuberance, I don't want to prematurely jump into this tank. And then actually, I didn't show you that, but you get the usual extra O-ring garb. And the German 103 team card tells you all about everyone involved in it. And if you're interested in how to put this rebuildable together, Jay Hayes did a video on it. And because of his nickel allergy, he did the rebuildable mesh coil.
I am sure he didn't die.
That was the video I watched that actually got me to buy it.
Ah, right. See, a bit of influence there.
Holy cow. Is this a flavor banger? These stock coils are amazing.
Really?
No off notes whatsoever. And it is highlighting the pineapple inside this Hunky Hawaiian Punch.
No way.
I can't get over how this e-liquid tastes different in different tanks. Not by a whole heck of a lot, but the forefront flavor varies based upon what you tank and put it in.
Ooh. Well,
when I put it in the diesel, it was the orange flavor that was a little bit forefront. And this Crime Hill,
gotcha.
It's more the pineapple.
Well, I just purchased a Wasp Nano Pro for 19 quid.
That's a bargain.
E-Sig 1. If anybody wants it, E-Sig 1. You can get it in pink. No.
Pink?
I should have gone with that pink mod that you sent us. I should have got the pink to go with that pink mod you sent us. That would have been it.
Yeah, but they're probably two different shades of pink. One's a little bit more purple, the other one's more pinkish pink.
It was bright. It was bright pink. It was girly pink. Trust us. Hey, man.
What a
God, we're cabbages in
fantastic
there.
tank.
You're liking that one, yeah?
A bit too much airflow, even for me. That's a rarity. Uh-oh.
Too much airflow for you. Get out of it.
And I closed it just a hair. And it's getting whistly.
Wow.
Is that the downside to this tank? I turned it more than halfway closed, and it's just a little too warm for the wattage I'm pushing. Might actually have to put a little cooling in this liquid if you're running it in like a mouth to lung or something. I didn't think about that. My wife never even mentioned it.
The tank's doing it justice, though. That's the thing. The tank is a good one.
But wide open, the flavor is so fantastic on this tank.
See, man, it's Crime Hell. They're a good name for vape gear. You know, it's German engineering, mate. You know what?
The German 103 team has put out some fantastic tanks. I've got another Vapefly tank. I think I'll pull that out for next week.
Vorsprung Dog Technik. There you go. German engineer, it's very efficient. Which surprises me, when you know the size of the tanks them guys are making. They're very tall. But when you look at all the vapors in Germany are vaping on, they're all vaping on Titans and everything. That TPD 2ml crap is they just ignore that. They're all vaping chimney stacks.
And stacked tube Mechmod.
Yeah, they're just vaping ridiculous stuff.
And the ironic thing is, even though the flavor is fantastic on it, you can tell it's thinned down. It's like breathing.
My God.
A girl I dated made fun of me for being colorblind. That's a huge gray flag for me.
Mallory at his finest, eh?
You're one of those depressing old people, aren't you?
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit. No offense, 61 guys. No offense intended.
You know what? This is the one thing that we did in college classes, to be honest with you. When we were, taught how to make websites and stuff like that, there's websites you can go to legitly to plug your website in, to check it, to see what a colorblind person would see looking at the images you put up there. Because for those of us that, can see the colors, we don't realize how many of the colors are so close when you convert them to shades of gray. And there's different kinds of people color blindness. Not everybody is the same colorblind.
You look at photography and film editing, their white balance and exposure guides are all off a grey chart. They're not off a colour, they're off a grayscale chart. Everything's based off grey. Colour density.
And something else about this tank. Not to interrupt you, but something else about this tank I just realized. I got a Nick buzz off of it. So the conversion of Nick from your liquid into the vapor, that's amazing.
That's
it doesn't degrade it one bit.
That's German technology for you, mate. You know what I mean? The Nick.
I need to fill it with the 3. I have my wife's 6.
The 6, right? No wonder. Jesus Christ.
Is that delicious?
So is that one that's not going to get put back on the shelf?
Nope. And I am in no rush to do this.
It does look a chew on like.
Because that stock coil is fantastic for flavor. I can't imagine how good this is going to be. I'm a little hesitant because this one is Canthol as opposed to the Nichrome. We all know Nichrome imparts much better flavor, especially on fruits. Yeah. But
yeah, I mean, Canthol's still alright. I mean, I still have the odd Canthol coil now and then. I mean, it's
third on my list. I prefer Nichrome first and then stainless steel next and then Canthol.
I mean, with stainless steel, I kind of gone that with my RDAs because just for the ramp up time, it's quicker.
Yeah.
But I've been known to I mean, I've still got a reel of is it 28 or 24? Could be 28, 24. I've still got a reel of Canthal round wire kicking about that I always, if I do run out of coils, it's there for a backup, you know what I mean? I've still made the odd round wire coil out of that. Still does the job.
This is 2 days in a row we brought up Oppenheimer. The actors' strike is delaying the release of Oppenheimer. Well, that's okay. It's probably going to bomb anyway.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, my God. I love it.
She's such a hoot, I'm telling you.
Honestly, when Mallory's on form, she's on form. You know what I mean? That's all I can say. And there's nothing wrong with being bringing a bit of humour.
Yeah, especially in the world we live in.
Yeah, you've got to laugh. Laughing makes the world go round, mate.
Is better than smoking.
So what? As he said. What a tosser. But on the other side of the coin, dollars are better than vaping. Yeah, I bet they are, mate.
What'd you say?
You get an F
dollars
in my book. Okay, I get you.
You're a liar! You know something that you're not telling us, you slimy scumbag liar!
That was a bit harsh.
Well, the truth is...
Vaping is better than smoking.
Period.
Yeah,
End of sentence. Thank you.
I do agree with that statement wholeheartedly. Oh my God.
My wife challenged me to a game of strip poker, but it turns out she just wanted to do laundry, so I folded.
Come on. These are like Christmas cracker jokes. These aren't they? She's found a box of Christmas crackers, popping them all.
Let's see if it works.
Well, you pour it in.
Nope. Ian Thomas, thank you for stopping by. Very much appreciate you hanging out with us.
The man who's full of facts and information. Thank you, Ian. You're a legend.
Wow.
That's kind of where I am with this, you see. Wow. It's just wow.
Is this actually going to be the first time that we've done a stream that actually ends at the 3-hour mark? We're so enthralled with how wonderful our device is that
yeah,
we're just going to call it quits at 3 hours.
We're just chilling now, we're just having a chill and a woohoo, you know what I mean? I think we've done pretty well this week. You've been regimental this week, you have. I think you've got a time slot now, have you? Yeah, I think that's what it is. He's got little time cards on his little computer now. He's got a sticky notepad, right? At 7 o'clock we're doing this, 6 o'clock we're doing this.
Listen, we're not as good as Nick. Nick has it, you could pretty much put the timestamps in his description before he gets started.
Really? Wow.
Even when he does news and advocacy, he's got a 15-minute timer now.
What the fuck's that up, William? Hold on.
Put it up there.
I'm enjoying these. Got thrown out of Iceland, apparently having sex was illegal. Not sure about Asda or Tesco, but you'll have to check the website. Oh, God. Here's Mallory. My obese parrot died his hand, but was always weighed off my shoulder. That's class. Absolutely love it.
Oh, man.
Absolutely love it. Weight off my shoulders. Oh, my God. Holy crap, man. Honest to God.
Holy cow, is this thing fantastic. I can't put it down.
Honestly, I'm like that with this. Honestly, I want to take it to work, but I don't want to knock it. You know what I mean? I don't really want to go take it. Imagine seeing the plume of this shit coming out of a fucking
Amazon truck going down the street. Cloud machine.
Like, is that a steam engine or what?
Listen, I do a lot of camera stuff and that kind of thing because of the YouTube channel, and Facebook every once in a while pushes that particular theme on me as I'm browsing. Brony saying hello and welcome. But
you've been lurking, sir. Don't be lurking. Come on in. Don't lurk. Yeah. Come on in. Get in there, sir.
But it's amazing. They have a fog machine, which is legit just a vape. It's a powered vape because they have a fan inside that blows just like my regular fog machine I use for stage work. But they want $500 for just the tank. And they sell it for people that are doing photography work.
Wow.
And they want over $500 for it. And then to top it all off, they sell you all kinds of different attachments and flexible tubes and stuff. So you can legit create the fog.
Yeah.
And then use that to take your pictures.
Yeah. That's crazy, isn't it?
And it's plastered all over Facebook. And there's absolutely no difference between that device and this one.
I'm going to take this to the next gig and I'm going to ask them, do you want a fog machine? I'll just stand at the front.
That was a wonderful thing about DJing weddings when they asked for the fog machine.
Yeah, I'll just get me Titan out. You're all right.
It was a rare event that you got paid for that you could take the Titan to, and it was actually a benefit to use it.
Exactly.
Because you were adding to the show.
I mean, there was I don't know if it was like X Factor UK or X Factor America. It was one of those kind of talent shows where they had actually a vape trickster on doing tricks with vape, and he was absolutely brilliant.
Tricks like this?
Oh, this guy was blowing. He had like a tray and he filled this mass. He was using bubbles and he was filling them with vape, and some of the shit he was doing was out of this fucking world, man. He had a tray and he did this massive bubble. He blew this massive bubble and it was just full of cloud. And then he just like held it and he just dropped the tray and it just looked like a mushroom of the cloud. Oh, it was some of the stuff he was doing was out of this world with it. And you're like, how could you actually do a show doing that? But you could. It was interesting. You were enthralled by it. Like, what's he going to do next?
It's like a magician. You have to practice.
Oh, the stuff he was doing. Unbelievable.
Yeah, blowing clouds and clouds and, bubbles inside of bubbles and circles inside of circles and donuts inside of donuts. That's nothing compared to some of these guys.
He was doing like I love the jellyfish one. I think it's like they start off with a ring, then they do a puff through the middle and it actually wraps around the ring and it looks like a jellyfish. It's amazing, that. It's clever stuff. I've never ever thought of doing that. I can do a little work. No, you do it on the desk like that and you scoop it up and it looks like a little hurricane. I can do hurricanes, but I can't do nothing else.
You can't do any of the fancy stuff.
No. I think I could blow O's.
I've seen some of them where they blow it out of their mouth and suck it in through their nose.
Oh, yeah. Hang on. I think I can do that. Hang on. Nah, I can't do it. I used to be able to do it with a cigarette, actually. I used to be able to do it with a cigarette. I used to go...
Not me. I was too busy lighting the next one.
I can't do it now. I used to be able to do it with a cigarette. I can't do it with a vape. I don't know if I could still blow O's. Hang on. The stage of the rings, like that's no smoking trick, that though.
You're doing that for the children, aren't you?
No.
You're one of them disgusting Chinese marketers, aren't you?
No, me never. Never.
Fantastic.
See,
as Brony pointed out, well, I'll be glad when this age of greed ends. But what comes next?
What? I don't think that's never going to end, my friend. I wish it would. I really wish it would. But capitalism is at its finest in this day and age. Trust us.
Just like your crabs.
Yeah.
Why do tampons have strings? So the crabs can bungee jump.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Holy fuck.
And the thing is, the show turned out like this and we didn't even get plastered or hammered. I didn't even finish half of my beverage.
No, I'm on my second now.
I finished that thing off on the show yesterday. It was only an hour long.
Yeah, I'm at it. I think it depends what mood you're in. I'm thinking now, if you've had a bit of a shit day, you'll hammer it. But if you're just chilling and enjoying the company and all that, you don't need it. Just nice, easy drink, nice chill. Brilliant, man. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. That's what it's all about, man. Just relax, Life is such a rat race, mate. It's just such a rat race at the minute, and you just, the time you get to chill out, you just enjoy it. Got to be done, man. Regardless of what you do.
I'm definitely enjoying the mixing and chilling today, but I am also looking forward to revamping the studio. I've already got that wall pretty much emptied out of here. I've got one more shelf that I need to take out, and then I can legit start moving the flavors around.
Sure, what it is, it's going to be one of them jobs you're going to wish you'd never started yet. You're all enthusiastic.
And it isn't so much, the shelving or the desks. That's not the part that I'm concerned about. What's going to take me the most time is camera placement. Getting the cameras mounted again in place so that it is the scene that I want it to be.
It's not like I say, it's not just, organising your room with it. You can see you've got to, as we talked before, went on air, you've got to rejig your cameras, you've got to rejig your lighting, you may have to add lighting, you may have to, there's just lots of stuff that you've got to take into consideration. I mean, don't get us wrong, your studio looks fabulous. It absolutely looks brilliant the way it is, but if it helps you to make, life easier for you or improve your show or whatever, then go for it.
Well, plus it allows me to use one of those scenes as a scene that doesn't really have vape content in it at all.
Yeah,
the flavors are going to be in my background and stuff, but they're just food grade flavors. So if I want to make a video for the other channel, well, I could easily do it and not think twice about it, and nobody would even know that I have a vape channel if that's what they saw.
It's just having that blank screen for other stuff, isn't it? That's exactly what it is, yeah. Definitely.
And it's going to be beneficial when I do the news, because then legit I can put it out as a news broadcast and not be judged on the content of the news.
I think that's why I'm like, well, I have started it as such. I've put a video up in an intro, but that's why I'm going into the the DaVinci Resolve stuff because you don't need none of this. It's all screen record, you know. You only need this for you to say blah, 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 and then bang, you know, there's no backgrounds or nothing. You just go boom for the screen record, you know, and do your stuff. Easy peasy. But
yeah, and I'm going to do the same thing because Streamer Bot has really helped out this production. I mean, all these things that we have nowadays, and I've only touched the surface of it. So if I can, you know, double bang it by making new things and new decks that I can use and film that content as I make it,
yeah,
that's even more content I can put out there.
So did you know that DaVinci Resolve is just another upgrade as well? Did you be downloaded it? Have you updated it? Yeah, they've done another one.
Yep.
When's 19 coming? 19's got to be due. All the 18.5s, the amount of updates we've had on 18.5, there's got to be a 19 sitting there somewhere. Gotta be.
Yeah, but you know what? What else could we ask of the software?
I'll tell you what I would like to ask. Direct recording camera into the software. I've never seen any of them do that. That would be brilliant. Instead of recording...
Yeah, you can do that with the audio, but I haven't seen a way to do that with video.
That's what I'm saying. That would be the next thing for me. Rather than, like, obviously recording on your camera, then taking your card and upload on your computer and then uploading the video. Imagine if you could actually record straight into DaVinci. Not so much editing live, just get it in there as a media source rather than... That would be brilliant. Imagine the time that would save you.
I don't think it would save anything.
God, let me see if you're downloading from your camera into your thing or downloading from whatever.
That's why it doesn't affect me because I record using OBS.
But still, imagine if you could do that straight from the camera, though.
Yeah, I see some benefits to it.
Yeah.
But you're legit basically asking them to merge OBS with DaVinci Resolve. Create a new tab that you can use for live production use.
Well, no, I'm not necessarily saying. I mean, obviously, like you say, OBS, you can record OBS straight on your computer. I'm just thinking, if I'm videoing a review now, instead of like obviously when it's done, taking your card out, just actually loading it straight in from the camera to DaVinci Resolve, rather than.
I need to get with you again and do like the remote computer thing and help you get OBS set up.
Yeah.
Because I think once you see how easy it is to set up a couple scenes in OBS and pick the transition type you already want and burn that into your video file, you'll find it so much easier to create a review video because it's legit. You hit the record button, you start at this scene, you push a button or you create a deck on the OBS and you push that thing, automatically goes to the next scene. You're already overhead. You show your thing. You switch back to another scene and go, okay, I'll be back with my final thoughts. You come back, a day or a week later.
I do see where you come from. You switch from scene to scene and do it. But and
then you legit dump those two video files into DaVinci. You do a couple chops for dead air or, something you flubbed. And you're done. So much faster than taking the card out of the camera, punching it into the computer, downloading that file, putting it in there, and then having to do all the editing on the final.
Well, I think I do a lot of heavy grading. I'm into me color grading as well. I do a lot of heavy color grading as well on mine. That's what I'm really into. I mean, obviously...
And I'm going to point you to Joe Gilder, who does audio for, people that want to be an artist in their bedroom and create, songs or whatever. I'm going to tell you the same thing he tells everybody. Get it right at the source.
Yeah.
Because realistically, unless you're trying to match a feel of the color grade, there's really no reason not to do it right off the bat. Get your lighting right.
I get that because, to be honest with you, I shoot all my videos in log footage, so I've got to grade it. As I like the log just basically because of the the detail it captures. You know what I mean? Everything's there.
Yeah.
I know it's only like 8-bit, but I mean...
But if your lighting is already right and every shot you take is perfect, why do you need to color grade it or change the color profile?
It's just the... what the fuck am I looking for? The word I'm looking for. Oh, what the hell is it called again, man?
See, if you're doing like you video something in this room and then you go into like a warehouse and you record a section of the thing there, and then you're outside for a section of it, you've got such drastic different lighting that I can see why you would want to waste the time to color grade it, match the feel of the look for your images to all be symmetrical. But if you're at a desk and you do all your recording at the desk, why do the extra work?
I think that's it. It's dynamic range. That's what it comes down to with your log footage. It's the dynamic range. You get better dynamic range. That's why I use it. I've been tinkering with other profiles. I mean, like I said, I'm old school. I've been S-Log. I've done that since I've ever, had a Sony S-Log footage. With the A7 III, it's S-Log 2. It can do S-Log 3, but it's 8-bit. S-Log 3 just fucking falls apart. It's shit. It's naked best. I don't even know why they've got S-Log 3 on that. It's just on an 8-bit camera. It just doesn't happen. But I've been tinkering with some of the actual basic profiles. They're not log footage, but they're built in. There's like your standards, your neutrals, your autumn leaves. Like them little type of picture things that's built in rather than an actual log footage. And then I've been doing some testing, and then they're coming out okay for what I want. There's very little grain to do. Majority of it's just editing.
Have you seen Alex? You know how he puts out his 5-Minute Fridays and stuff? Alex Tech does a bunch of DaVinci Resolve stuff.
Yeah.
He is actually finally embracing his creativity, and he's basically going out and recording things out when he goes for walks in the park and stuff.
Yeah.
And throwing it together to be a little more cinematic and a little more holistic feel. And that is something you did, if I'm not mistaken, when you first got your camera. You went out and recorded outside for a little bit and posted that.
Yeah.
For something like that, I totally understand why you're recording S-Log and you need to, be able to color balance.
The dynamic
color
range, yeah.
Because of the dynamic range being so drastically different indoors and outdoors. Or even just different
like
scenes.
I said, the only thing with S-Log is, like with S-Log 2, your base ISO is 800. Anything below that, you're underexposed. And even at 800, you've got to expose plus 2 stops. So I've actually went out and bought ND filters for the outside work, because obviously, if you fuck about your exposure, it's just going to blow all the highlights, everything. So, which was fine, but it does kind of work for this, because I know the Kelvin in my lights. My lights are 5600K, and I can set the exposure bang on with that, and I get a pretty good depth of field with it. I can play about with it. I shouldn't have to. I know there are easier ways, without a doubt. I've been looking at HLG 2 and 3 hybrid log gamma. It's more HD side of it now, but there's that many different things.
That's the one thing that I'm hoping to be able to accomplish once I rearrange the studio, is to get the right bokeh, that right blurriness to your background that I can't achieve now, even with the bright lighting that I have and the reduced, exposure. That's pretty much the last foray into creative cinematography.
It's down to your lens. It's down to your lenses. Just your f-stop on your lens. Like I said, when I put my 50mm on, I can get down to f1.8, and that just blurs everything out in the background. It's mint. It's more lens than light now, to see with that. Like, if you can get a good.
I've looked at one. I looked at a fixed lens. It's a 15mm fixed lens, and it's got an f1.4. But it's
even better.
As much as my camera body cost. Like $500.
That's the problem.
For one piece of glass.
Cameras. Yeah, you find that the lenses cost more than the actual camera.
It's not that important to me. And I'm sure that the people watching don't care whether my background is blurred or not.
At the end of the day, though, you can get what they call, for all cameras, the nifty 50. They're pretty reasonable now. I got the 50mm lens for mine for buttons. It wasn't that expensive.
And you don't have to get the advanced enough. If I really wanted to blur that background, I could use the automated tools in there to cut out my body and automatically blur. I just double the video, have the forefront be the original clear focused image, green screened out like we do for the DJ scene, like I do with the background, and I could make the background as blurry or unblurry as I want.
Oh, definitely, yeah. But, you know, like I said, a 50mm lens now, 1.8, you can probably get one for less than $200 this day and age, easy.
Yeah, there is one that I did see that was like $250 as opposed to $580.
Wow, that's still pricey. That I'm sure I didn't.
Well,
pay
you also
much
have
for
to
mine
remember
now.
Canon, the M series, the lenses have been pretty much done. They're done developing them because then they came out with the Canon R series.
Oh, you don't have to get. You don't have to get. That's the thing. People fall into this false security. You've got to buy a Canon lens. No, you don't. As long as it's got your Canon mount. You know what I mean? I mean, this one is the Sony.
Yeah, the
50.
adapter's $189. And then I can pull out my Canon AE1 lenses and pop them on there. But it's still
Oh, but
manual
you can
focus.
You can get lenses with the standard fits. I mean, this one here is for the Sony. You can get the FE, which is the full frame. And you can get the E, which is the C frame. But you can get aftermarket lenses that will have that fit and that bolt straight onto your camera. You don't have to buy the adapters. I mean, you know yourself, all the different manufacturers like Sigma and all that, they do lenses for all your Sonys, all your that'll fit your Sonys, your Canons, whatever. But there are cheaper brands that do exactly the same.
It would be different if I had a full frame lens, but this M50 is the micro 2/3.
I mean, even the Sony J lenses now, right? They are ridiculously priced. I mean, the 70-200 was about 1,500 quid, but you can get a cheaper. The Sigma do them for about 900 quid, and then a lesser brand you could probably get it for about 500 quid. You know, and some of the lesser brand. I mean, I think there's somebody called Minolta who do lenses for the cameras, and the lenses are pretty good for what they are, and they're dirt cheap.
That's why Blackmagic design cameras are so popular, because you can legit fit any lens from any manufacturer onto them.
Yeah.
They have an adapter bracket for any brand out there. So it's an investment in the thing. But you know what? How many people are doing these vlogs and these daily streams and these videos just using a webcam or their phone?
Exactly. Well, that's how I started, on a phone.
It's kind of like, you know, when they're talking about microphones. Once you
It's
reach
like
a certain
mobile
level,
phones. Yeah, but
the price goes up
you've seen-
exponentially, but the quality improvement goes up just a hair.
Yeah, but you've seen, you know, the cameras on mobile phones now are getting so advanced. It's just easy to use one. I use one. That's where I start, with a mobile phone.
My wife buys her phone based on the cameras that come with it. That's
do?
why she has the Galaxy S22, whatever.
I've got the Sony Xperia IV. It's basically purely for the camera, because they've got the first actual zoom. It's digital zoom. It's an optical zoom lens, not digital, that they've got built into here. It's unbelievable.
That's the same
It's
with
purely
her.
for the camera.
When we were on a honeymoon, she took a picture of a tree on the top of a mountain that was literally miles away, and it was a picture of just one tree on the top of a mountain.
They've got 85 to 125 optical zoom. That's not digital, it's optical, which is just, it's like, wow.
Yeah, and then they can put digital on top of that.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, that's kind of where I base a lot of my purchases with my phones, is the camera quality. I mean, like I say, the Samsung S23 Ultra or something now, the camera on that's. My wife's got the S22, and that can record in 8K. 8K and a fucking phone. Wow. Not very long, but it can record. You know
Meanwhile,
what I mean?
you can't go out and spend $1,000 on a camera, an actual camera that just takes pictures and video, and get 8K.
Nah.
Explain
Not
that
this
to
day
me.
and age. Nah.
You can do it in your
That's
phone,
crazy.
though.
8K video, or 12, I think we're 12K now, I think they do, is all, you're talking Hollywood cameras, the Reds, the Arris. they're just like...
And that's because everything is done post-production. They legit set the camera up far away as they can to capture as much footage as they want, and then it's zoomed down to a 1920 by 1080p image that uses a fraction of the actual image they recorded.
Oh, no, but I mean...
Image stabilization is all digital.
At the end of the day, like, they are two top cameras. I mean, the quality you get off them are unbelievable. The Hollywood movie cameras, the quality is unbelievable off them, man. Plus, I mean, I've seen it was an old Arri, it was the old Arri Alexa. It was from about 19-something, and it was still going for 35 grand, and that was just the camera body. There was nothing else. No handles, no mics, nothing. It was just the camera body. And then when you got the bolt lenses on, Jesus Christ, you need a mortgage for some of the lenses. Christ almighty. Holy moly.
Yeah. Tell me about it. And some of the gears that they have, they actually image, stabilize everything, and you just literally hold it, or you wear it on, strap it on your chest like a backpack, and it stabilizes the camera for you. You just remote control joystick like a drone.
I watched this thing with a guy. He actually worked on Hollywood movie sets, and he used Arri cameras, and he had this like body suit, which you just put on, and it was like spring, not like gravity, like it stabilized the shit out of it, but the suit itself was electronic. You had dials, gauges. Honestly, the stuff that was on it, you needed a degree to understand it all. It was out of this fucking world, man. Honestly. You're like, what the hell? Like fucking false color screens and this screen and LUT screens and all that. And you're like, whoa. You know what I mean? Phenomenal. Clever stuff. But it's like I say, it's technology, how far can you go with it, you know what I mean? What next?
Yeah.
Obviously the world of 3D, I think that's your next push, isn't it? When they can get into that. Virtual reality and all that.
I've tried that a couple times, though. I've tried the 3D stuff a couple times, and it just... Virtual reality is going to be the next phase.
Yeah, VR.
360
and
cameras.
AI and VR. That's what it is. You've seen now these mass productions, like when they're done like Star Wars and all that. All that's green screen. There's nothing. It's not a real city. It's fucking a blue screen. But like, you can do it now where you do it's been out a while. It's kind of like digital art where you could like build a city or something as a background in Photoshop or something, and obviously put your characters in front of it type of thing. Clever stuff, but that's more time consuming rather than a big green screen, groove screen, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Now, what's the thing? It was called, I think it's Click. It's a techno program. And this guy visited a Sony studio, and the green screen now is not a green screen. It's all separate TV. It's like a wall of TVs. And they can literally put any virtual background on it. Not the screen. They can actually put a background or a scene on this fuck off wall of TVs, you know what I mean? And it looks so real. And you're like, how the hell do they do that shit, you know what I mean? And they can control every single TV screen, nits or
Listen, unless you're a professional color gradist, the AI can do much better job color matching you to a background artificially created, like you said.
Easy.
Than you could ever achieve trying to manually adjust the settings.
It's scary stuff, man. Honestly, it's scary stuff. Clever, but scary. Totally, man.
Yeah.
Terminator. Telling you. Skynet. Telling you.
All right, we probably lost all of our audience sitting here talking about camera stuff like you and I normally do after the stream, so...
But it's part of the process, boys and girls. It's part of the process. These are the tools of our trade. But yep, Vader 2K. Oh, sorry, mate. Never see you come in.
What do you think is better?
Nano 3. Ooh, that's probably one for you.
I would say the X-Slim Pro. The difference isn't huge, but I think that the X-Slim Pro does have a little bit better flavor. And it isn't so much that the flavor's better, it's more consistent throughout life of that coil. The coils inside these X-Lims, the X-Lim Pro especially, and these V2 coils, it's like an alkaline battery. Right from the very first toke, after you fill the pod up, you get amazing flavor. And it stays amazing until the coil decides one day to completely shit the bed. And then you go, ew, what is that? It's time for a new pod. It's not like, you know, you would slowly degrade the flavor over time. These things are just banging the whole time until you got to replace the pod.
That's pretty cool. Like, so there's no degradation in flavor. It just says bollocks. That's it.
It's so subtle you can't even tell.
Yeah.
Like if you used one for a while and put it on the desk and then came back to it every day and used it for a little bit and came back to it, it's so subtle you would never even notice it. But if you had a brand new one sitting side by side with one that was like 3 weeks old, you could definitely tell there's a difference. Well, you can tell there's a difference, but it's so subtle.
Very small.
Yep. And then all of a sudden it gets to the point, I don't know exactly how, I'm guessing that one part of the cotton gets so singed that it can no longer supply the liquid.
Yeah.
That all you taste is that off note from that singed part of the coil. I wouldn't be I'd be surprised if they weren't using robots to assemble these pods.
Oh, most people will be automated by now, surely, man. It's got to be for the
because it's exactly the same result, no matter whether it's a pod I bought, you know, from Element Vape to replace the ones that have died, or whether it's the one that came in the package of a brand new product. It's not like the old days. Remember the old days? You would buy a brand new Smock product, and that first coil was fantastic, and it would last for days and days and days. And you'd order a box of 5 coils. And 3 out of those 5 coils would die within 48 hours.
That's right, yeah.
And maybe 2 of them would last you a week. Nowadays, the replacement coils and the stock coils that come in the box are identical.
They're getting really good now. Bruni Sane said Legion Lair would help this talk go on for hours. Cameras, I mean. Yeah, I think he likes his cameras, doesn't he?
Yeah, there's been lots of times when I was going to Coffee with Legion Vapes. And
yeah.
This is now a collector's item because he changed his name. But there's lots of times, you know, I would say, hey, man.
Legion's Lair.
I got a camera question for you. And he'd go on talking about it for another hour. Talking about lenses and cameras and...
Oh, he likes. I think he likes his photography as well as doing, you know. I mean, like I say, I haven't bought a camera just for YouTube, you know. I'd like to go out and about with it as well, you know what I mean? It's not just sitting there on my desk all day. When I get the time, that is. But normally, if I'm going for a walk or I'm going to visit somewhere, that'll come with us, without a doubt.
See, that's the other goal for me changing the studio around one more time, is I legit want to put all of these cameras on a mount that I can quick release it and take it on a remote shoot. Because I legit want to go into vape shops and talk to the owners and talk to them and see how they're dealing with things and what their plans are to keep the place going once the FDA decides to clamp down on stuff.
Yeah, it's true, because like a lot of people like to use them GoPros and everything now, don't they? But I just can't get away with them. The quality of them is pretty good, but they're too expensive, man.
Yes.
For what you spend on a GoPro, you could probably buy a decent lens or a half-decent camera body. You know what I mean?
Yep, but that's because, like, the phones, they're recording in 4K or 6K or 8K, and then you can legit crop that down, and it doesn't even look like it was cropped. It looks like you filmed it originally in, you know, HD.
1080, yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons I try to record in 4K is just for the compression on YouTube. That's just basically it. It's not because I want to get clear pictures, just the compression on YouTube.
I'd be willing to bet that the compression you get on YouTube is based upon the number of followers you have. Because when I was first under 100 followers, I don't care how good my video looked when I rendered it out and watched it.
Yeah.
It looked like shit when I uploaded it. And the audio was shit when I uploaded it. As soon as I hit 1,000 subs, what I saw playing on my computer was the same as what I saw after I uploaded it and was watching it on YouTube.
Really? Yeah, just something I've never really took any notice of. Never noticed it. I bet you wouldn't surprise us. You're probably right. It wouldn't surprise us.
It's a numbers game. If you think about it, somebody showed me a chart the one time of the number of people that have 100 subs. It's like huge, massive.
Yeah.
And the number of people that reach 1,000, way smaller, like 20%. And then the number of people that hit 5,000, and it's a fraction of that. And then you keep going all the way up until you hit 1 million, and there's only like 60 or 70 people that have over 1 million subs on the whole fucking planet.
It's the bullshit, you know, the 4 hours watch time and this bullshit that we fuck off, man. It's crap.
It's a rat race. Who can be just a hair better than the other person consistently long enough and endure the process to reach the point where, okay, well, now we're going to take care of you the way that you deserve to be taken care of from day one.
Oh, no doubt, yeah. It's like everything. If you make a success of something, everybody jumps on board the apple cart, don't they?
Well, some people would say that I'm a conspiracy nut for even talking like that because, oh no, they wouldn't do that to you. But after all the shit that we've come across, you know, vape advocates and ants and news agencies, legit, you know, you watch a local news channel in San Francisco and you watch a local news report in Chicago, and the report about vaping is almost word for word what it was in San Francisco on the other side of the freaking country. You can't tell me there isn't a coordinated effort in the background shoving this stuff down our throats.
Especially when it comes to vaping videos as well. I gotta say, give them the shit. You know what I mean? It's the world we live in at the minute, mate. It's a fucking load of shite. Absolute shite.
And like you said, it's all about the greed. How much money can they make and milk out of people?
Definitely.
And like they even mentioned yesterday on the show, population control, like you said, it's not as abstract a thought as, you know, one might think.
But it isn't. Even if you look at it scientifically, we have got no natural predators on this land.
We're our own worst predator.
Yeah. Our only predator is us. There's no T-Rexes running about that would eat one and all this shit. There's nothing.
You go and you stop and you pick yourself up a fruit salad for lunch. You're going to pay $8 for that fruit salad, right? Nice, healthy, nutritious, nutrient-dense food. You stop at a Big Mac for, you know, McDonald's, you can pick that up for $5.
And it's shit.
And it causes cardiovascular disease and strokes and all kinds of other problems and health issues and diabetes. And but that's only going to cost you $5. But it all boils down to one basic thing. You can either make time for your wellness, or you'll be forced to take time for your illness.
True. Very true. Yeah. But, you know, in the world we live in now, fast-paced, everything's fast-paced, isn't it? Fast food, fast this, fast that. It's all convenient, isn't it? You know yourself, when you were young, you know, your mother would cook a nice home-cooked fresh meal for you. How often do you see that now? Very rare. All processed crap. And that is part of the population game, mate. They're feeding you shit. They're making you fucking eat shit stuff. They're making you smoke shit. So you die. Simple.
My friend, knowledge isn't free. You have to pay attention.
Yeah, man. Fucking crazy, matey. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. But
yeah, and speaking of unhealthy crap to eat, the wife's eating a Lunchable.
Speaking of unhealthy crap to eat, I'm gonna have a kebab. But I did get salad with it. So
I love to have salad. When we have baked potatoes and steak and stuff, I insist on having a salad to go with it.
Oh, you've got to, man. My favourite thing at the moment, especially in the summer, is like a breaded chicken steak, right? And what would you make it a bit like a pizza? You put some tomato puree on the top, melt. I tried refreshing. I thought, oh, he's pulled the plug.
I tried reconnecting. Twitter loaded on my page, but YouTube would not load in my browser source.
The YouTube's still buffering. There we go. We're back. YouTube
Unbelievable.
Back. We're moving. So that was YouTube dropping out.
Yeah, there looks like their website went down for a moment or something. I was still connected to the internet. Like I said, I'd loaded Twitter. Twitter loaded.
You see, powers that be are watching us, you see, and we're talking about the powers that be are there. I tell you, the powers that be are there. They're going, aye, we'll have
Hey,
you.
we're only talking about cameras and other stuff, miscellaneous things. Healthy eating.
There you go. Better have someone back. Well, we never went nowhere. We just
froze for a little bit.
Sean Lesher,
hello and welcome.
Thank you very much. See, just a quick shout out, guys. Ready's just they're sitting on the side there. Don't be shy. Come in. Let them know you're there. Introduce yourself. We don't bite. Well, we can't bite anyway. We're virtual, so we cannot bite you. So come on in.
Exactly. We don't even know where you're at.
On.
You could tell us you're in Alaska and be in Colombia, and I wouldn't know the difference.
Actually, believe it or not, I live next door to you, man. I'm your neighbour.
I actually have them locked in the basement.
Yeah, I'm a very close neighbour. Holy moly, matey. Aye, funny old YouTuber.
Yeah, never a dull moment. Well, since we lost all of our viewers, I guess we can call it quits for a day. You and I can keep chatting like we normally do for hours. I very much appreciate all of you guys sticking around. I know we drag on and on for some hours sometimes, but we truly enjoy this. This is a family that, we've developed and built, and we wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for the thing that empowered us to quit smoking.
Exactly. Exactamundo.
I'm going to give you my wish.
Sir. We'll see.
Peace, love, and a hunky vape to end cigarette combustion. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and we'll be back same time next week.
Thank you very much, Alex. As always, thank you, everybody in chat. You make this show. Absolutely love spending time with you guys. Again, Alex, absolutely love spending me weekly Tuesday evening in his company and yours, of course. And as always, guys, hit that thumbs up if you like this video, because it does help the old algorithms in YouTube, apparently. And that's basically it, boys and girls. I thank you all again from the bottom of my heart. Until the next time, stay safe, vape safe. We'll see you all very soon. You take care now. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week again for a fresh round.
Watching the